Us ring. Stupid, bro. I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page. Out of all these years, yo, the disrespect that comes with it, that you could have talked to me before you did it, that's bullshit, yo. That's fucked up, please. I'm telling you, bro, that's fucked up.
Wait, no. You're not gonna say fuck me or that's fucked up. It's not fucked up.
Record me? What the fuck you doing?
Listen, it's not fucked up, and we're going to. Okay, look. So, I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad when you just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you? My choice, my body, my fucking choice.
I'm your partner. You're supposed to come to me and talk to me.
Joe, I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for solutions to shit. You're not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. That's no
You
solution.
knew who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before,
I
knew that.
thought that I would never have to go back to anything
I
like
knew
this
that
again.
beforehand,
But
but
unfortunately,
no.
that's not the case
After
right now.
After that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. Obviously, it hasn't.
No, it had to. I had to do something.
It hasn't. You stood out there showing your body. You stood out there doing stuff like this on camera.
You act like that's the only thing that I do. I have mad jobs, but they're not facilitating everything that needs to be done. So I got something extra. OnlyFans be breaking me off. What the fuck?
Come on, Keith, with that. It don't matter what they breaking you off. It's the disrespect that comes with it.
What disrespect?
You couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking about it now.
Because I had to find out on the fly.
All right, then. But now, okay.
No,
so, wait.
I had to find out on the fly.
So now you know.
Yeah, now I know.
Okay. And so? Whatever. I've been doing what I have to do, period. Like, that's bottom line. That's what it is.
Yes. Welcome to unique broadcast here on the Chaos Rain Show. I am Chaos Rain here, as always. If you're new to the Chaos Rain Show, welcome to the Chaos Rain Show. And like always, make sure you hit the like button, share the broadcast, and like always, show support, super chat or donate to the Chaos Rain Show. Either or. All forms are appreciated, 1 second, guys. I'm just checking something. Okay. Well, what's good, Queen of Virtue? How you doing? Yes. Long time no see. Hope all is well with you. If you know my wonderful favorite moderator, do your thing, If you don't mind, just throw the links for people to, like and, Oh, and as you know, Queen of Virtue is a femininity influencer as well. So, I'm not sure if she still do content on YouTube, but you can check her out. I believe she still does. But anywho, the links to follow me are the following. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. Add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Join my Rumble page. As you know, I have a new uncut video that's been posted over the weekend on Rumble. Check it out. If you didn't catch the previous stream during the week, and if y'all guys will soon start noticing some videos that were on the channel one time and then eventually YouTube decides to take it down eventually. Then we move to other platforms eventually. So, and usually if they've been taken down, usually there were some things controversial that overall, YouTube said, it was here for a while. And obviously, things had changed. So they just kindly just told me, and they just took it down, which is fine. And like always, I'll move certain content into certain other platforms, and they're going to be the actual uncut version of them. So if you're not following me on Rumble, what you waiting for? Join my Rumble page. Queen of Virtue, if you still here, sweetie, can you put the links to my social media, my Twitter, Facebook, and Rumble? If you have a hard time, I will check your Facebook. Or go back to some of my previous comments. The link should be all there. So slowly share them piece by piece so people know where to follow me. And I'm looking right here. Also, join my Discord service of the Chaos Rain Show as well. As you know, there are some things I would post on Discord besides the, a lot of things. And let's have a conversation on Discord as well. So please don't be no stranger. Join Discord as well. And do I got everything now? Let me double check if I got all the information, because before I get started, it looks like I got everything now. And like always, support the channel. Okay. The title for today's stream: are we living in a polyandrous society? Now, what I've come to thought of really saying this and putting this out here. We all know polygamy has been around for such a long time, and there are certain instances that there is polyandry as well in certain societies. And you got to keep in mind, there's only a few countries in the world that have polyandry. And since I'm talking about the few countries, that hopefully will make sense and tie into today's discussion. Or better, I do one better. Since people don't believe me that it don't exist in the world, that there's some place outside America, or just the world generally, that there is such cases, women having more than one man, let's take a look at the article for itself. And we'll go through this very swiftly. Okay. As y'all can see, let me take these down, because that's annoying. And this dealing with the life, everything live white life, etc., etc., etc. And make sure y'all guys can see me here. Okay, good. You can see this. Good. Let me make this bigger. There, y'all can see that now. As you see, this is a woman with two husbands, one white, one black, or they could say mix, whatever you want to call it. Very strange. 5 places where women have more than one wife. And mind, this is an article that's now roughly 4 years old. It is not unheard of men to have more than one wife. With many cultures, practice, and religions of the world even supporting the habits, however, it come across as unusual to hear of a woman with a multiple husband. Polyandry is a form of polygamy in which a woman takes 2 or more husbands at the same time. Now, case point, let's put a stop right here. Okay. And as you know how America goes, when I say polyandry, there are women in certain cases, in certain cultures, and in certain racial boundaries, there are women, or what they call lovely ladies for short, have more than one man fulfilling every task. They have men on deck on board, and even have more men on deck and board more than ever now with the help of the advent of social media. Where now each man, now if there are a simp or beta male, or you want to call it, volunteers to be a part of this polyandrous relationship with said woman. you would know that in recent times in social media and certain parts of interviews, there are some women that have admit, not many, but some have admit and have admit to having more than man for each task. And those women, and thank you. As for the, oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, thank you, Queen Virtue. I forgot. And please become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. As I'm talking, Queen, I'm going to probably put out some other links to put in the chat room. But let me continue. There are some women, and Queen, if you can answer this, and you might know some friends, you hear the notion that some women have a man for to pay the light bill, a man to pay the rent, the man pay for groceries, and hell, a man to even go as far as pay for dinner dates. And you know what the other man does? The other man fulfills their sexual desires. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. So when we look at America, it is somewhat more than just matriarchal guys, sexual, or etc. Yeah, thank you. Tough Top podcast. They are a man fills every need possible. And me saying this is that when women has these many options, what makes sense they really want to have an actual legal marriage, if give or take, which we all know polygamy is illegal in the United States of America. Are y'all guys aware of that? I knew this for a while now, and everybody else probably knew this, right? But I never asked the question in regards, is polyandry illegal? Now, I'm not gonna go Google and find what are the rules of marriage officially in America. Right, it has to be a monogamous relationship where it's one man, one woman. But I wouldn't be surprised that even it might be possible for women to have more than one man and possibly marry more than one man in America. If it surprised me or surprised y'all, it would shock the world. But let's say that's not the case, right? And this don't exist, which I would say for now it don't exist. But imagine if it does exist. What does the regular upper echelon of men or modern men could do? You know? I tell you what the man gonna do. The man, unfortunately, has two options. Right? He takes a knee, or he does not entertain said woman that has or has the capability to run game and have more than one man on the side without your knowledge. Like literally, without your knowledge. And let's be clear. As you know, the rise of a lot of things, from the incel to now the femcel and stuff, that only a few people here in the West will have the ability, some women, and depending on how the woman carries herself, will have a greater advantage to have said men on reserve, on deck for every little situation. And usually she'll have that man for free. Like literally for free, if you think about it. And I'm saying this and telling y'all this because there's a large lump sum of females, and we can say some of the men as well, are they are trying to convince the regular, normal, modern day man to really take on the actual deal, which is not really a logical deal and not the best deal, but take on a deal that he has to sit here and do all this cat and mouse to hopefully get what we call a relationship and go as far as maybe marriage, possibly. Yeah, maybe, possibly. But other than that, let's keep it real. Enough dudes are now come to terms and understand the real bigger picture, and you only have one or two things: either make the adjustment or you just stay complacent. But let's go further into this article. I'm gonna skim through this and go on to other things. For example, fraternal polyandry is practiced among what do you call it? Tibetan and Nepal, parts of China, and parts of northern India. Northern India. Sorry, in which two or more brothers are married to the same wife, and with the wife having equal sexual access to them, which she does, and she is engaged fruitfully with that access. We have gathered 5 known countries with tribes that practice polyandry, and they are listed below. Nigeria, which surprised me.
Although largely...
Oh, sorry. Nigeria. Surprisingly. Which I did not know. Usually, Nigeria, last time I checked, there are some men in Nigeria who can marry more than one wife. I didn't know it also could be inverse that, and there is polyandry in Nigeria. Ain't that something? And let me stop this. And let's go in detail about Nigeria. Although largely uncommon in Nigeria, there are tribes in Nigeria that also allow polyandry among the what they call Iriguan Northern Nigerians. I think that's probably Iriguan. Women have traditionally acquired numerous spouses called co-husbands. The Iriguan people of Nigeria practice a woman having a co-husband until their council votes to outlaw it in 1968. Until then, women moved from house to house, taking on multiple spouses, and the children paternity was assigned to the husband whose house the woman lives in at the time. So it looks like to me, this has been going on up until 1968. Now I'm not sure if they still do it today, but this has been pretty much removed for 55 years. That's Nigeria. And let me do this. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to look at periodically, see how we doing likes. I'm going to look at it now. Continue. Okay, we got some likes. All right, good. And please, guys, interact with the chat room and leave a comment. Okay, India. India is a country has more than one tribe practicing polyandry. Polyandry is prevalent in parts of North India by Paris in the what they call Johannesburg region, while in Kanuru, Achia, a minority of people justify the practice polyandry. As descendants of the Pucci Padorians or Pandivilis, 5 brothers who were husbands to a woman named, and mind you, I'm going to be butchering these terms because this is look like in their language. Drake Padine, daughter of King Pachula. They believe they have to carry on the traditional aside them. The Tadis tribe of or that we call Negras, Najimi, Yamada, and Travancore, and some Nara castle system in South India also practice polyandry. A survey of 753 Tibetan families by Tibet University in 1988 found that 13% of the practice was polyandry. All right. Next, Kenya. Surprising. Another interesting one. Kenya. In August of 2013, Kenya's witnessed polyandry when two men decided to be husbands to a woman they both love. It is noteworthy that Kenyan laws don't explicitly forbid polyandry, and legal actions can be taken against people who practice it. So they don't forbid it. So that means they allow it. There have also been reports cases of polyandry among the Masala people in Kenya. And you know, Masala, I think that's like a mix, so-called Eastern European, Indian, and Black. I think that's what they call Masala. China, the practice of fraternal polyandry is common amongst the people. Tibet in the Nepal parts of China and India. It is based on the beliefs that a child can have more than one father, and usually when two or more brothers marry one woman, they all have equal sexual access to her. The practice is encouraged if the family is poor and can't divide their priorities amongst the offsprings of separate fathers, so they keep their small farmland and properties big by getting married to the same woman. This is in China. And the problem with China, come a pause right here with China. No, actually, way how China's moving right now, this makes sense. Here's why. I mean, here's why for a reason. A reason why this makes sense, because they have more men than women. So in that polyandry in their country, it makes sense because you have to replace the numbers. Because as y'all know, and this is my rule with in regards to polygamy, polyandry, or in regards to marriage in general. And this thing about who can have more than one spouse. We had to go by the numbers, people. And what I mean by going by numbers, you have to look at the numbers. If there are more women than men, then by default, my male or human nature, you're going to have to share. Because where will the men, or I should say the woman, where's she going to get a man or a spouse or whatever? She's not going to find one for herself. Now, a lot of people say we in America, so there is a whole bunch of men, different race of men that women could choose from. Yes, that's true. But here's the giver. Do these men will take you in and take you as a spouse? The majority of the men that's the majority of this country, which is non-black. And we have to go by numbers. We go by what we see in present day. Most non-black people, on the average, are not in the business marrying black folks en masse. They'll marry the men more, but not en masse. Let's be honest. Not en masse. So we got to scratch that there. Women, they could possibly get married by non-black men, but it's not going to be en masse. And depending on the quality of the non-black mate, you're not going to get like the best, most likely. So, you know, when there's an imbalance, there has to be one out of six that have to balance the scale, which they're going to take on more than one mate. So the majority of the world, there's always more women than men. That's not going to change anytime soon. Ain't going to change in my lifetime, and ain't going to change your lifetime. So what the video that I remember doing back in previous live streams when Charles Ali explained to one woman about the black man going to have more than one woman, it's not just nature. I mean, it is what it is. Now, the only takeaway of this is enough women should have an understanding now and have a more appreciation. Matter of fact, you should have more appreciation of your woman, depending on your age, that you know the environment, you know what your situation is. If you get one man that said that he's going to deal with you, if he said he can, that's fine. But overall, he's going to probably dabble with different women, especially if he is a man that's making pretty good money. If he's pretty, and there's something of men that can be pretty, he's going to have more than one woman. If he has money, he's going to have more than one woman. So it is what it is. it is what it is. I can't knock it. I gotta be honest with myself, and a lot of ladies going to be honest with themselves. And I think one time, Queen Virtue, you did say something about polygamy. I'm not sure you're still in the building. You once referenced and mentioned it. You dare let us know. So if there are less men, if there's less women and more men, obviously men going to have to follow suit, or he's going to have to take a knee and bench die off. So let's keep going. South America. This one's an interesting one. South America, especially. Polyandry also exists among tribes in South America, as the Boros practice polyandry, while up to 7% of Amazonians culture may have believed in the principle of multiple paternities. The Tupi Kawawa also practice fraternal polyandry or polyandry. Fraternal polyandry, sorry. So those are the countries: South America, China, Kenya, India, Nigeria. Yeah, I think you might have talked about it one time. If you're not busy, Queen Virgin, put the link to have you come up, because you talk about a lot of things, and you probably more well averse to this. So I'll put the call link for you, Queen of Virtue. Also, keep in mind. Oh damn, I forgot. Oh, I forgot this. My manners. Yeah, there you go. That's also the Cash App link scrolling down too. One thing also I gotta say this. With polyandry and how America is structured in the polyandry fashion, women have a good power, or a sense of power, around the opposite sex. And one of power now, because you see a lot of men complain about it, is the access of women sexually. So one thing, because some said they got the power of the P, right? They can use it, abuse it towards regular men, and in return, they'll give the possibility of intercourse, but really truly, they're not gonna give you intercourse. But they sure as hell will trick you if you're not really attentive as a man to pay into something that you're not gonna get, or you're not deserving to get. In any case, a lot of men are not fooled nowadays. They walk into what they deserve. And I cannot say I feel sorry, but I don't feel sorry at times, And the reason why I feel too sorry, because there's too many, women, and a lot of men really sell themselves short. And they really do sell themselves short because they believe, or they've been trained to believe, that this is the only option they have, was to deal with the women here. And really, truly, that's not really the case. Especially, there are more different types of women, including Black women from all walks of life here, not only in America, but also you could go outside America and find them there as well. So, and I'm just doing something, guys. Don't mind me. I'm trying to find some things. Okay. So really, truly, it's more than a so-called gynocracy. This is a polyandry society, where really, truly, women do dictate the terms of service of engagement for a lot of modern men. Sorry. And modern men today, either you make the adjustment or not, they are going to control your actions. And yeah, I hear this talk about Pookie and Ray Ray and all that stuff. And this is my thing about the Pookie Ray Ray, which I'd agree with the Mini Man. What are you going to do to really compete and do some different in regards to Pookie and Ray Ray? Because if she's choosing to pick the so-called swag and all this extra stuff, then what US men gonna do? Because I've noticed with men on the side, and I gotta be honest as men, we can't just act so that's being normal, plain, and just staying the same way as this is enough. It's not enough, you know. We as men, we could always do something better. Always. We should not accept the mediocrity that we just come as we are. Now, one time, a couple decades ago, you could probably get away with it, but today you cannot. Now, I don't want to say you have to imitate these low-level dudes that's getting the outcomes. If you can, as you have to be not only yourself, but be a little bit unique, you know, to stand out. And this could go anywhere. And I hear stories about how dudes say if they're lame and they don't do much and they carry themselves the same way and not really much of any self-improvement here in America, that they go somewhere in another country and a woman will secondarize this. I mean, I call bunk because women, unfortunately, are women at the end of the day. Now, I'm not saying you should go and try outside the country to shoot your shot, but you gotta keep in mind, here in America, we live in very much more of a different culture. I mean, hell, this transactional relationship in this climate does not fit well for Western men. Because if you have to pay a few $100s just to hopefully get the possibility of sex, then by all means, the sex was not really worth it from the start. Personally. And let's be honest, a good portion of a lot of Western women can't really fuck. So that's another thing we don't like to talk about. That's just me. So why do I say this? I'm glad you asked. Let me show you. I can show you better than anything else. Wait, is this the? Hold on, guys. Let me make sure my thing is present. I'm just gonna pull up some image. All right, good. So this should work now. And make sure you guys keep liking the stream and support the channel, guys. Don't be stingy, man. Throw something into make the chat light up with colors with the super chats or whatever. Okay, we're gonna start with this unique thing I came across. This thing they call a list, right? Now, mind you, yeah, and I know this has been circling lately, and this is what I've discovered. It's just me. What I discovered. This list that was created, from what the word on the street is about this list, they said a man created this list. Now, I'm not sure if that's true or not, but let's go there and say a man did create this list. We got to keep in mind this list was created during the so-called cheesecake experiment. Imagine that. This little funky list was created in regards to what women will not take or accept for a so-called first date. Ain't that something? A crappy cheesecake. And personally, I'm not a person that's fond of cheesecake. I don't eat cheesecake personally. Now, if I go to a Cheesecake Factory, which I'm going to look up for myself and see what it really is about, personally, I'm going to see what they really offer. Pricing, food, etc., right? To really see what is such issue with a few chain restaurants. And trust me, the cheesecake is a chain restaurant, people. Do not sleep on cheesecake. it is a chain restaurant like most of them. Hold on. Let me do this because I gotta, before I look in this stupid list, let me do this because I gotta before I look in this stupid list. All right. Hold on, guys. All right. Now, this list, and I want to hear from people from the chat room personally. What do y'all find intriguing that caught your attention seeing this list? As I'm going through this, I want to hear from y'all. What catches your eyes about this list? Okay. And as I'm going through this list, let me do this as well. Yeah, I'm not ready to try this. Okay. I'm checking something out. All right, let's look at this list. And mind you, there are many lists, but this one, we're going to start. We're going to zoom into this one. Here's a list of places women absolutely refuse to go on a first date. And thanks you to the ladies who reach out to me to help me on this list. Now, mind you, a man actually wrote this list from here. This is the rumor, but oh well. It says here, number one on the list, Cheesecake Factory, which I said before. And mind you, I'm not a cheesecake person, so I can't say if I would take a person on cheesecake because I don't eat cheesecake. Next, Applebee's. Now, I'm not sure what's wrong with Applebee's. Applebee's is, I think, a regular restaurant. That's my check. I don't think it's a bad restaurant, but okay. Next, Chili's. Now, I heard some good and bad reviews with Chili's, but what do I know? What do I know? And wait, before I continue, I do have Smite. Simon, you there? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Actually, before I continue, Simon, have you heard about this list? See this list?
Yeah, I see them shits.
Okay. Yeah, you laughing.
Yeah. Males and females back and forth with these lists. Okay, cool. I think it came. Yeah. From what I understand, it came off that cheesecake shit.
Yeah. That was scripted. Yeah.
But I don't think most of these fools are gonna sort of uphold this shit. It's they're not about to, I mean, for real, turn around on a date and say, okay, this is what it is. No, they're not gonna put out, but they could do it on social media and go, okay, that's nice. I ain't paying for this. I ain't paying for it. No, don't. I'll pay for that shit. I'll pay for that shit. So, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Why are you getting with a woman in the first place if you ain't going to pay for that shit? That don't make no sense. Why is a woman getting with you? You get what I'm saying? That's just foolishness. So, it is what it is.
Okay. Before I let the next person talk, make sure you guys hit the like button, share the stream. Hustler, you there, sir?
I'm here. What's up, Chaos?
What's good? Now, I'm going through this list, and there are other screenshots of other lists. But have you seen or heard about this list of the dudes who don't on a first date, or what women refuse to do on a first date?
Yeah. Yep. As a matter of fact, I was on Kill 'Em Sweetly's panel talking about that earlier this morning, and I'm gonna do my own reaction to that tomorrow morning for Halloween. Well, this morning for Halloween.
Okay.
So yeah, I heard about the list, and hold on a second.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, he gets.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
As I was saying, I heard about that list, but the irony in the whole thing is this. This list was designed to give women a sense of where men should not take you if they completely value your time and value you as a woman. Because in their minds, it's like, oh, I'm too good for a cheesecake factory. I'm too good for a chain restaurant. I'm too good to be going to these kind of places. If it ain't a 5-star expensive restaurant, then he doesn't value you as a woman. That's the message that they were trying to send with that ridiculous list. But in reality, for those of us with some logical thinking, we come to the conclusion that a lot of these things that they list, we more or less agree that they're not the best places for a first date, but it's more of a to each his own and hit and miss kind of thing. You know, for example, I agree that you should not take a person to a family function on a first date. Say that for when y'all actually get into a relationship before. I remember Sweet Melody told me that her cousin showed up at every family reunion with a different woman and it got annoying. So I don't recommend doing that. And as for hookah places, if you're like me, someone that likes to smoke but is trying his damn diligence to stop smoking by chewing gum, then a hookah bar is not going to work for you. If you're like some people who just don't smoke, it's not going to work for you. So again, that's a hit and miss kind of thing. But that's a bait. But these other places like going bowling, going to Chili's, going to the Cheesecake Factory, I don't see the problem with those. It's more of a to each his own, but they sent the wrong message. They were trying to send a message, but they end up getting a different reception in return. It's more of a hit and miss to each his own. Everybody got their own take on this kind of stuff, kind of thing. That's my take on it.
Okay. I'm gonna skip down and go for this list very quickly. All right, I talk about Chipotle. I'm not Olive Garden. I have no problem with an Italian restaurant called Olive Garden. I don't know why people say that's on the list, but that's not a question. I mean, the movies. Well, that's nothing's wrong with movies, but I don't know much people still watch movies today. So I'm at the question.
That's the thing. They don't. That's the thing. They don't. Thanks to all these streaming services. Now, I had a woman tell me don't take her to the movies on the first day because she'll more likely fall asleep on you if it's something she don't want to see, really. Yeah. So that's also hit and miss. That's also a hit and miss kind of thing. To each his own kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anytime you want to speak, Simon, you go ahead. But let me go on. Your house. Netflix. Well, I think Netflix and chill. That's a house. So I'm not sure what's wrong with the house, but that's not a question. Okay. Any fast food?
To the same stuff.
Oh, false. Okay. Any fast food chains? That means they're talking about McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Okay. Next, Wingstop. Have I been to Wingstop? I think I might have been on Wingstop. I think nothing wrong with Wingstop. I don't know what's wrong with them, man. They're crazy. Next, Red Lobster. Now, this right here caught me. Bitch, you tell me you better than Red Lobster?
I love me some Red Lobster, man. Don't sleep on Red Lobster. That's my favorite place to this day, man. Oh my God.
No.
Now, if you don't like seafood, that's one thing, but don't sleep on Red Lobster.
Listen, every person that lives in the West has been to a Red Lobster. To sit there and say Red Lobster is a chain restaurant and it's one of the lists that women don't want to go, you are delusional, bitch. You better sit your ass out, eat these crab cakes, and shut the hell up.
Emotional damage.
Yeah. Out here with Red Lobster. Next, a buffet. Now, right here, brothers, niggas. We all know women, especially sisters, love to engage in gluttony behavior. You tell me, bitch, you don't want to go. And you know when you spend your money the first time on a buffet, that's pretty much it. If I can remember from buffet, right? You pay I don't know if it's like $56 now. I'm not sure how much it's for a buffet. All you eat a buffet. That's it. You tell me, chick, you can't one-time fee. You eat everything that you can get and take some home. Are you serious? And listen. A lot of black women love to eat, man. Let's keep real. That woman that had 48 oysters. You tell me she will turn out a goddamn buffet, the buffet? If you could walk down 2 plates of that type of seafood, you could definitely enjoy a big ass buffet place. Don't give me that.
Yeah, I
I-
don't know if you've ever checked out any of these chicks' fridges. If you've gone to their houses, ain't
yeah,
none in there, bro. Apart
yeah.
from takeaway boxes.
Yeah, but the buffet is called me and say, hold on, you know you love to eat, sweetie. You could I pay this one fee. We eat all we want, right? You go eat more than me anyway, because let's be honest, if you're gonna go to a 500 or a top 5-star hotel, I mean 5-star restaurant, you're gonna spend money on food that said is the top tier, which we all know that's not true. I'm sorry. Because the restaurant is top quality, that don't mean their food is top quality. Let's keep it real. Because they don't understand how capitalism works, how the economy works. You think because you go to a restaurant is high established. Oh, okay. I see you, Andre. If you're not busy, come on the chat room. Links in the chat room. Y'all feeding these hoes cheddar biscuits, granddaddies. Yeah, let me drop the link for Andre again. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me hide this. Yeah, Andre, if you're not busy, come up, brother. Come up. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So next, and next for super chat. What else I'm looking at here? Buffet. Okay, IHOP. IHOP is cool for breakfast and stuff. Maybe some other things. So I'm not sure why IHOP's on the list, but okay. Denny's. God damn, I have been in Denny's in a long time. Shit, I think when I was a boy, I've been in Denny's. It's been a long time since I've been there.
You know the funny thing about most of these chicks is like if you've been brought up in a household where you've never been cooked for, then
Mm-hmm.
all you do is you have an outreach to takeaways and restaurants.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like most of these chicks ain't been cooked for from their fathers or someone that cared for them. So it's like it's kind of interesting how that becomes a juxtaposition in their real life when you're trying to mix with them.
Mm-hmm.
That scares the shit out of me. Because I ain't having no girl in my house turning around that don't understand the fact that we are actually capable as men um cooking you something that you don't have to actually go out and buy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no relation in terms of the emotional connectivity. It's crazy. It's like, you know, the thing is, it's like Jesus Christ. Why is it? Maybe,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Please tell me because I want to know. I really do. Cause I ain't raising my daughter like that. I'm a single father. No way
Mm-hmm.
in hell I'm raising my daughter like that. My daughter understands certain things.
Mm-hmm.
This does not relate. My daughter turns around, she turns around to me and says, "Daddy, how are we going to compete against these chains that are out here?" She's 5 years old, mind you. She t- she turned around to me last week. She was like, "Yo, how are we going to compete against these chains out here?"
Mm.
Now, these ladies are out here turning around trying to hook up niggas and go, "Yo, can I get a petty one on you to get a little thick egg in the mix?" Like I'm like, yo, I see this advertisement and I fit into that, and I could boast that on Instagram or whatnot. Nah, you're not attractive like that. In fact, your father should have something to fucking say about that shit. And I don't see any of these fathers getting on any of these damn streams. Although we want to complain about it as black men, we see all these fucking um women doing all this extra stuff. Where are their freaking fathers? Like, You know,
Mm.
they're doing all this extra stuff on Instagram, on YouTube, this, that. It's like you never hear about their fathers. They're always silent. It's like, shush, shush, we're in the forest. We're in the forest, we're just crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you look at most of them have not been around or raised around their fathers, no, or being around their father was either not involved enough that, they don't understand how men actually moves, function and stuff, I mean, that's a
Mhm.
disadvantage when you've been raised by one parent most of your life. Now you had to sit there and you had to so-called adapt. So any boy that'll come in front of you, sweetie, you're just gonna sit there. This possibly you just gonna go through attraction and all that stuff, and you're gonna pull down the draws. It is what it is. But let's continue with the list. I want to finish the list. The next, the gym. I never heard of no first date being gym. That look like that's made up. That we're going to ignore. Next, the church. Yeah, well, people go to church. Well, maybe scratch that. Some people go to church nowadays. Most men don't go to church anyway, like that. So I don't know why that has been listed. 17. Next list. Starbucks. Well, always the coffee is supposed to be the introduction of seeing yourself, you and him interact, have a conversation, laugh, talk, drink something, tea maybe, not it's always coffee. I heard one stupid chick say, I don't like going on a coffee date because it seems like I'm being interviewed. I said, yes, you are being interviewed, chick. You are. What do you mean? Because man is not going to spend what, 100, 200 or more dollars on the first interaction with you. Why? You're not well.
Maybe.
Mm. Yeah.
Yo, I mean, it depends. I don't know. And this is kind of highly controversial. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it depends on when you're at, where you're at in your real life. Okay, so, and this is not a conversation for everybody, and I appreciate that. And sometimes I say some shit that no one understands what the fuck I'm talking about. So I do appreciate that as well. But sometimes I deal with certain types of people and they have a certain type of credit. And that's the difference. Okay. So when I deal with a woman, I may go, okay, this is this today, but I'm not gonna do it every day. So if we're gonna, like, for example, my ex-wife, right? She was like, "Look, Simon, you fucked me around." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I want to take the credit for that." She was like, "Yo, there's this restaurant I seen, got a cool fish menu. You gotta pay for that shit." I'm like, "Okay, all right, I wouldn't do that. We have a child together. There's a difference. Like, that's a next level thing. But if it's a new chick, it's just trying to get in my vicinity and go, okay, you got to do the same thing that woman done. No, that woman put her body through a certain type of thing for 9 months and produced a child. There's a difference. So when there's a new chick, we're not playing play school like games here, okay? And I ain't gonna turn around and pay the same cost. I'll pay that cost um if there's a levy. Like, so, nigga, if I damaged you and I felt wrong about it, I'm gonna go, okay, bro, I'm gonna pay you back in some sort of shape or form. Now, what your terms are gonna be will predetermine how our future is laid out, you know. But that's just how it is. It's kind of hard to explain, but anyway, I appreciate you for having me up and just allow me to talk.
Yeah, you go ahead because I want to finish this, but I'm gonna let you continue say a little bit more, few things. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, but that's some real gangster shit because you know I I I was dropped into that life, so it's just really understanding how people rock. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not sort of going, okay, you're better than this or better. It don't matter how much money you've made or this, that, the other. I don't care about that shit. Like so, but it's really an appreciation of who comes before you, after you, or who's in the present. Because that's what legacy is about. And that's all I got dropped into. Because I come from a legacy of a family. I got a big real family. They're large. Like when we're like 9, 12 deep. So it don't really matter. Um, all I see at the end of it is like, yo, you can't really you can't leave with materialistic shit. What happens is you leave with your spirit. And that's why people talk about spirit because it's not really something that people really understand. And everyone wants to try to get their own understanding about it. That's fair enough. Um what is it? It is all for us, but at the end of the day, um you need to be very, very careful about how you let certain people into your life and what kind of spirit they're interrupting your spirit with. So when you start putting up these people, especially people on TikTok, um, I don't know, Twitter, YouTube, or whatever, I don't give a fuck. As men, like, and we can't get this stuff twisted, right? As men, we
Yeah.
find women holy, beautiful. They're
And,
not
and, and,
hard.
and Simon, I don't want to hold you up, but I have to really finish this. Let me just finish the list. I know you're gonna keep going on, but for the sake of time, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, bro. That's cool.
Yeah. And what else? Starbucks coffee dates, which is now see, now you can tell right here. This was really a man really wrote this because Starbucks is the same thing. That is a coffee date. Femi, if you're not busy, can you come up because I think you talked about this. I would appreciate you come up. All right, ice cream dates. I'm not sure why anyone would turn down ice cream, but like I said, if they're thinking they're bougie, oh well. Family functions, yeah, that was already discussed. Movie nights, Netflix, Hulu, which is the same thing as going to the movies. See, now this what I have to really say. When someone told me, and well, let me run it back. When I heard rumor this was scripted, the way how I'm reading this list for the first time, it does sound like it's a script. Because you're saying about family functions. Okay, you're saying movie night. That is the movies. Netflix, Hulu, all that dumb stuff, that is movies. Somewhere that requires a long drive. Well, stay home, chick. And bowling, which everybody likes to bowl. So right now, this list right here, this first list that we're all witnessing is for people to be single, unfortunately. And now the next thing. Let me see if I could switch this. I think I can switch. Can I switch it? Let me see. No, I can't switch. I got to lower this down and put another presentation. And as you know, the list also made the news. And I think the news was trolling people. I'm not sure what news this was at Fox 8. I'm not sure what part of Fox 8, which state this is, but if people were looking at this particular list compared to the other list that someone wrote up and looked like he scripted it, it's not only the same list, but I mean, come on. These were every human being, every interaction boils down to this. Like literally. Hookah bars. I'm not a smoker, so I can't speak for hookah. Nightclubs. Well, if you want a good time, you're gonna have to go to a nightclub, sweetie. Not no 5-star restaurant. Sport events. I'm not sure who will turn down sports, but that's not a question. Waffle House. As you know, after the nightclub, you go to the Waffle House. Obviously. So actually, man, probably will spend more money after a good night in the club. Same thing. And the news cover it to give it some context. Weird. All right. Next one. Present. Share screen. The next image. That's not it. I'm trying to figure out this other dumb list right here. Now, I did not find the ones for the men. I wish I did, guys. I was trying to look for Facebook. I couldn't find where it is. So, as you know, the men came up with their own list. I wish I could type it right now and present that list, but I'll give you the list from what I remember or recall off head. Right now, I'm just going through the ladies' list because, you know, this is the only thing that's present right now. Bear with me. Okay. And let me close this one. Let me close this one. And pull this one. Let me zoom in. As you can tell, this list right here with the little funny lipstick emoji, that nonsense, it shows here men with toddlers or younglings, or what they call it, or younger, men that live with their mama. Now, this here with the first one and second one, younger men. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. Ladies, you're getting your throat banged out by a young buck. Stop it. You're becoming throat goats to these young bucks. Don't give me that garbage. Okay, I see Feeny. And the thing about men that live with their mom, we all know there are some women out here that still screwing some dude that eventually know that they are still living with their mother. And they're not still turning them down. They're still going to give them the goods. So right there, that's the cap. Keep going further. I'm going to let you speak in a second, Feeny. Let me just go through this list briefly. I'm not going to go through all of it. Men that live with the baby mama. Well, if he's able, and if he knows he is living with baby mama, yeah, I mean, they're still dealing with them, so I don't know about that. Next, what? DL men. Now, right here, I gotta call cap, and let me tell you why. If a woman knew that the man was on a download, and let's say she entertains him sexually, right? Why would they still entertain those dudes that they found out are on the DL? That's a question I gotta ask any woman that create this list, or I think a man created this list, to be honest with you, because it sounds a little suspect, this list. But and I don't approve most people engage in homosexual activity anyway, personally, but you're gonna do you. So men that don't have a valid driver's license, So I mean the man don't drive. Interesting. Okay. Men that bank with cash. What's this? Okay. Hold on, guys. All right. That's good. All right. What next? Wait, men that bank with Cash App. I don't know what that is. Men that sag their pants. Man, stop the cap. I see too many dudes that got their pants down to their backside, and women still talk to them and still dealing with these dudes and still screw them. So I'm not sure where this equation said that they don't deal with in a first date. These dudes are still walking with their pants down sag today and still getting the draws. Stop it. And let me see what else. Men that don't take care of their kids. How will you know? That's a weird question. Next. Men that disrespect women. Well, women still mess with those dudes that disrespect women regardless. Sorry. Next. Men that, what's this? Hold on. Men that wait, this is faded. I can't read that. Oh shit. Oh, my fault. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Oh. Yeah, okay, that's good. Men that don't own a suit. All right. Femi, you there? I'm gonna let you speak, Femi, because now this list sounds stupid.
What's up? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I see in the chat room. I know. I know. I know you talked about certain lists, and I don't know if you cover all these erroneous lists that people are asking for the first date. Some of it's downright weird. Some look like it sound ridiculous. Some of them don't look like it make no sense, because when I look at this and I look at the outcomes outside the environment, you see it too. This is not mathing out.
Right.
This is not mathing out. And this is no disrespect, but if you're going to create this, and mind you, the dudes create a list themselves, in which I could agree to certain terms, but not all, that when we talk about listing of what you're not going to do the first time, I'm looking at if you put all these requirements, you better, and I mean better, have not only the options that you seeking for, but able to get what you well deserve on the first hit. If not, this list does not help no one at all. If you put some, and not one dude steps up at all, or even let's say a dude put a list for women and a woman step up, well, that tells you. But let me keep going before I let you respond. Let's see if it was something. Men that live in motels. Men that want to hold a couple of dollars till they get paid. I don't know why they would ask money for the first time, but okay. Men whose clothes are in tubs. Wait, men's clothing are in, what the hell? The fuck is this? Who put clothes in the fucking tub? Next, men that can't log into anything without help. Now this is not stupid. Now, Femi, have you seen this list before?
No, this is my first time.
Now tell me, does this look like this is what do you call it? Is this trolling list? Is this trolling? This list? Is this a trolling list?
Let me see. So these is men.
Let me keep reading it. So not so you don't have to look at it. Let me keep reading it for you. Next, men that can't. Oh, I read it right. Men that gotta tell their mama everything. Men that work in the FedEx hub. Men that work for temporary service. Truck drivers. Them grand rising men. I don't know what the fuck that is. Them WYD men. What the fuck is that? Men with multiple kids and baby mamas. Okay. Men that bash women on social media. Women bash too, so you probably X yourself out too. Any women doing that? Men that have to load their cards to add money to it. This don't make no sense. Men that don't keep their locks up. All right. If you see your screen, I'm just reading the list right off what I have present. What's your take on this weirdness?
Okay, well, I feel like to each his own. I don't know if a man made this list or a woman. I'll go over some of these things for you. Why you shouldn't date men with toddlers. Usually women wouldn't want to do that for the same reasons that men wouldn't want to do it. Probably
with
more
so. With baby mamas or with kids? Yeah. We hear the men that say they want to deal with men. Yeah, we hear that. We hear
men that live with their mamas. Well, I mean, like I said, to each his own, but I guess they're saying like some men that live with their mamas is mama's boys, and their mom will always be in your relationship, and you don't want that. Or they're saying that the man is. I know a man that still lives with his father, so his father is like 80 something years old, and he lives with his father. So I hope women would give him a pass for that.
It's very rare that you find a son living with their father still, because usually with men nowadays, usually if their son's not doing enough productive for a reason, they give their son a certain time frame. But most fathers won't let their son stay around for long periods of time, on the average, if it's their sons, on the average. So it's very rare you find let's say a man living with their father that's old. Now, one thing I would say, what is the issue with the father? Is he like decrepit, damaged, you know, like severely ill?
I mean,
There
I
has
think
to be
he's just, I think he's just old, and he's
okay.
not gonna leave his father. I mean, this guy has a great job. He's like a district attorney, so he's not a bum. He just lives with his dad still. I mean, I think his mom passed away, so maybe that's why he
Oh,
lives
okay.
with his dad to keep him company. But he's not. I mean, he has an awesome job. Um,
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, if he's still dealing with his father, my thing is this: if the mother died and the son, he's like the only child, it
yeah,
makes sense. But there's gonna be a period now if unless you have the money to really have your own place and say for just the side for the sake of conversation, if he's gonna be far away, it should not be too far away, in my opinion. If you could move somewhere where you have another place where you're still close enough to your father, try that. You get me? It should not be too far where you know you still get access to it. You know what I'm saying?
I think they own the home, so I think that's why he just
Oh, okay. Then that's different. I
yeah,
can't knock that. I can't knock that. You know,
yeah they
I mean,
own.
it's gonna sound weird because some people say, "Well, you should know,"
I mean,
because
it
it's had.
sounded weird when I met him, but as I got to know him, I get
Mm.
why they live together. So I get it. But it did sound weird when I first met him. I'm not gonna lie. But that's why
It's
you have
it's
to talk to.
it's is he a ADOS man or is he parents from different country?
No, he from Atlanta. He from
So
Atlanta.
they're full American, like
Yeah.
not from okay. All right, well, you have some stories like that, so the family's very tight, so I can't knock that. Okay, okay.
Yeah, you can't knock it. Men that live with their baby mama. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that is somewhat a problem to me. I mean, I'm gonna hear your take on it, so go ahead.
I dated a guy that lived with his baby mama before. I did.
Hmm.
It was fun. I had fun. They
Okay.
weren't. He was living with her for whatever reason. He was living with her, but he wasn't living with her long. I mean, I think it was mainly because of their kid going to school or something. They had some type of arrangement. DL men. You asked why would a woman be dating a DL man? So I guess it's like bisexual. So there are some women. There are some women that are. I mean, I've heard them here on YouTube that are perfectly fine dating a bisexual guy. So once they
This
find
is
out,
very weird, very dangerous.
I mean,
Very.
it's weird, but they shame you in so much of being what they tell you the word homophobic. Like
Mhm.
they don't want to be seen as that. There's some people that that care about being seen as that, so they are willing to date a guy that's on the down low. I'm not one of those people, but I know women that do, and I
Mhm.
care, and for whatever reason they like it. I don't know why.
Mhm.
Now, men that don't have a valid driver's license, I guess that's like I don't know, like a man could have lost his license for child support reasons, or, uh, maybe they were partying after the club and something happened. I don't know if they meant a man that just didn't ever have a license. But like I
Mhm.
said, to each his own. I feel like these lists that are coming out, I feel like we're always just trying to tell people what to do. I'm just trying to explain some of these things to you from a woman's point of view. I've dated
That's
a guy that didn't have a license before. So this
mhm.
one with the men that bank with Cash App, that means they don't have like a bank account with uh, Wells Fargo or whatever. Maybe they
Mhm.
messed up their bank account or whatever. I guess that's a sign to some women of immaturity. Men that say they pants, okay, I can 100% agree with that. Like, if
Mhm.
because I'm in my 40s, I would never date a dude that sags their pants.
The
Men
sags
that
of pants, right? Sags
yeah,
of pants. Yeah, yeah. That's not a good look. Yeah, it's not a good look.
yeah, I don't even know how old the person was that created this list, but I mean, should nobody be dealing with that? Men that don't take care of their kids, that's obvious. If the man not taking care of his kids, he's not going to take care of you. Um,
Exactly, and that is it's common sense there. Yeah.
Men that disrespect women, I mean, even disrespecting a waitress or, any type of woman. I mean, that's obvious. Though, like that one should have been at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
Men that don't own a suit. Now I feel like that's a. I mean, this seems like who if a female did create this list, this is a Hasidity type female to me. That they have
Mm-hmm.
these very very high standards. Everybody is not. I mean, I like a man. I like a man that has a suit, but I have dated guys that didn't have no suits that I would ask them to get a suit, but they didn't get a suit because it was like I guess they just didn't need one. But I like a guy that owns a suit. I do. Um, Men that live in motels. I mean, I get it. You want to kind of date somebody that's on your level. You don't want to date a man that's living in a motel because 9 times out of 10 he's going to try to move in with you. Um, he's not. I mean, he's not even ready to date at that point. Men that want to hold a couple dollars till they get paid, yeah, that's xed out. You don't. That's true. Men who clothes are in tubs. They meant like bins, like you get from the dollar store. I don't know. I mean, like I said, to me, that's very nitpicky. You know what I'm saying? Some men ain't really, you know, some men do that. Like they're men. They might not hang all their clothes up or have dressers like they're men. Some men are just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, men who can't log into anything without help. So men that can't log into anything about help without help. That's also saying like men that need help filling out job applications and stuff like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know of men that need help to fill out job applications. Like they're not capable of doing that. Like I said, it just depends on
Mm-hmm.
what level of the woman or what education level that woman had. Like that's what I'm saying. Like there's gonna be women that still date these type of men because they might be like I don't want to say a lower class of woman. They they might be at that man's level. They might not
Okay.
mind that. They might not mind helping a man out with filling out a job application or making a Google account. Like some people aren't computer savvy, you know. So that's why I
Yeah.
feel like this is nitpicky. Uh Men who gotta tell their mama everything. Okay, I can agree with that. I feel like a man should have a very good relationship with his mama, but if it get too much that he's telling his mama all our personal business, yeah, I wouldn't want that personally. Um
Okay.
that work for FedEx Hub. See, that's real nitpicky. That's real like if a person
Mm-hmm.
got a job, they got a job. Like men that I don't know why it's so specific for FedEx Hub. Maybe I don't know exactly what it is. And
Mm-hmm.
now men that work for temp services. That's very so that's what I'm saying. These must be like women that are making $100,000 a year that they made this list. I got friends that date men that work at temp services or a
Okay.
man that work at Amazon. I mean, I know that's
Mm-hmm.
not FedEx, so I think it just depends on a woman. Truck drivers ain't nothing wrong with dating no truck driver. I don't know why they say that. Now them grand rising men. So you might not understand what a grand rising man is. I know a
No.
grand rising man. And a grand rising man is it's like a faux tap, a fake spiritual guy that they saying anything just to get in your pants, or they're trying to make themselves seem so spiritual and intriguing so you can
Mm.
fall for them. No, like those dudes is trash. They're actually played out. Though what you doing,
Before you
man?
continue, Femi, I had some people watch it earlier. As our guys come in, please hit the like button. Likes are free. As you watch the stream, just hit the like button. Let it be well known for the algorithm. If you're going, watch the channel, watch the video or live stream, I would appreciate as you come in, hit the like button. It is free, like everything else.
Hello.
Continue.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Hello.
I hear you, Lena. I'm gonna let Femi conclude. Continue, Femi.
Okay.
Okay. What you doing, man, is the men that text you. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? I don't. Maybe they feel like those type of men don't have any other conversation other than that. I mean, I'm not going to say don't date them. Just try to create a conversation with them. Men with multiple kids or babies, mamas. Yeah, that's definitely what I learned about men that have a lot of babies, mamas. Have
Mm-hmm.
those babies, mamas for security.
Okay.
So they can always have somebody to run to, whether if it's for to sleep with them or for them to have shelter. So yeah, that's definitely a red flag. I mean, when that men that bash women on social media, I tell these men all the time, I would never date none of these men that bash women on social media. It's not attractive. It's not sexy. It's not. You don't give me no good energy, no good vibe. That should have been at the top of the list too.
Mhm.
Men that have to load their car, money on their car. I mean, I think that's nitpicky. And the men that don't keep up with their locks, I'm a loctician,
No,
so
you're a you're a hairdresser,
yeah. So
beautician.
I feel like that's real hostility to say right there. But so all of this that have been made, some of them have some valid points. Some of them, like you said, seem a little trollish. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, I think that we have to stop trying to tell people. First of all, this dating stuff is getting exhausted. Most of these people need to work on themselves. Most of these people don't even love themselves, so they don't even understand what a relationship is about. It's all about, to me, what it seems, what a relationship is about in these social media streets. Who's right, who's wrong, who should be in charge, who should be listening to who. You should only value a man because of his money. You should only value a woman because of her body. XYZ. I don't hear nobody talking about love in these conversations. I don't hear nobody talking about, there's a book, the five love languages. Nobody hits on any of those love languages. It's all very superficial to me. I think that eventually that this conversation is going to die down and people are going to be like, yeah, I'm gonna date who I want to date when I want to. I think that it's good that we're all learning these things. Don't get me wrong. I think that it's good that we're learning things, but I just think it's just too much, and we're just putting too much on the men, too much on the women. And at the end of the day, out of 4 years we've been talking about this, I don't see nobody that's been talking about this stuff has gotten married, have been in successful relationships or anything. So I don't even see the point of these conversations much anymore. You know?
Okay. All right. All right. Lena, you there?
Yes. Hey, Chaos. Hey,
How you doing?
hey, Phil.
How you
Um,
doing? How you doing? How you doing?
Grand Rising.
All right. So Lena, you see the list. You see,
Yes.
well, there was many lists depending when you first listened to the stream.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What is your actual take on these lists that the ladies have set forth for a first interaction with said man?
Some stuff I can understand, and depends the setting and backdrop. Like the list of like dates and stuff to go on. I understand the one. Like I wouldn't want to go on a date, and it's a group of people that where they say family outing and go out with for a group of friends or something like that. If the woman is in mutual friends with those people, you're going to be competing for that person's time, and the reason for a date is to get to know the person. You're going to feel left out because they're going to have more in common with the person you're dating, and so you're not going to have a great conversation. I agree with the movies. If the movies is the only thing you're gonna take her out to, it's not because I think the movies are bad or anything. I've been on dates to the movies, and I stopped doing it because if the movie was the only place we're gonna go, I wouldn't get to talk to the person and get to know them. I literally saw the movie like, oh, it's a great movie, talk just like briefly, and then went home. I didn't really know or learn anything about that person. So I didn't like those dates, as far as dating. I might enjoy the movie, but I felt like I left, not knowing the person any more than I did before. Also, family dates, like it's the same as friends. I feel like I'm being judged. If it's the first time, like it's like a online date or something like that, I wouldn't I would feel uncomfortable. I feel like, oh, I'm being judged. It's one thing if, let's say, for some reason, I don't know. I just think that's still weird too. But I guess they used to do that back in the day. They like what they call courting or whatever. You kind of meet the family, stop in, you say hi or whatever, but the family isn't during the whole date. You might meet the mom, dad, and be like, "Hey, I'm so and so," and then you go out for your date. But
Mhm.
like a family barbecue or something, no, I feel like I'm being judged or examined. You wouldn't be able to enjoy yourself. That comes later on, and then I wouldn't take. I think it was church service or any religious service. I wouldn't do that one either, unless you're going somewhere afterwards, because you can't talk during the church or whatever. You're not getting to know the person. So as a first date, I think that one's a bad one. And then another thing, like, what if you're a different religion or practice a different faith? Because, like, it's like, I'm not downing anything, like, but like going, like, let's say for example, I went to a Catholic service before. I was so lost, like walking in the rows and kneeling before you walk in the pew, and do I take the sacraments? I was like lost because I'm not Catholic. So someone that isn't Catholic, you might feel out of place. So I can understand that shouldn't be a first date, and then you're not going to be able to talk and get to know the person unless the date continues. Like maybe you go to breakfast or whatever, and then you might get an idea, feel for the person. Like, okay, how was your first experience? What do you think about Catholicism? Maybe. So it depends. And then I didn't like let me see, religion, fast food. I'm not going over anybody's house, and they're not coming over mine. So, but the rest, the fast food, I feel bad. Like, I wouldn't go to fast food as the only date. Let's say you run a fast food, like, hey, the date is originally we're going to, like, go boating or yacht, or we're, going someplace that's like an active date, like hatchet throwing or something like that. I could say, if they say, "Hey, I'm hungry. Let's run to a fast food place real quick because we're in a rush." I can accept that. But if you're picking me up, or well, I wouldn't have to pick up. If we're meeting, it's like, yeah, we're gonna go to Popeyes. I look at you like you crazy. It's not the money. It's the idea of not putting thought in it. What else? This list, um, this period list on the screen, I would have to say, ooh, who are red flags for me? I don't think truck driver, the profession, is a red flag, but I can understand people who do like out of state and gone for a few days. I can see that as being a red flag because you might not want to be away from your partner, or you don't want to date a man like that. It's nothing bad, but some women don't mind like having 2, 3 days away. And then it's a temptation, and they also have the reputation of, cheating and have families over, in different states. Allegedly. I'm not saying they do, but I understand why. Um who else? Men who live with their mama. I could see that being a red flag. DL men, yes, but if they're DL, how would you know? Definitely DL men are a flag. Abort mission.
What you
Mm,
said, what you said, Lena, and your Haitian descent and all sorts. A man that wants to get poked by another man is a no. It will send him straight to hell. And it's a no, we don't want that. I don't want no man to be a
beware
pokey,
the Pokemon.
the pogey man. No, we call him pogey man. No pogey man here. Oh no. Yeah. All right, continue.
Um, I feel attacked. Men that can't log into anything without help. That is me. We're both be lost. Um, Men with multiple baby mamas. Yes, that's a red flag. Men that bash women on social media. Yes, that's a red flag. Um, um, Men who want to code a couple of dollars so they get paid. That's a red flag. It's the same as if women say, "Oh, let me have $20 or $30." Like men say women do that too. They ask for money right away, or here's my cash app or something like that. Um, Men who don't own a suit, definite red flag. Matter of fact, ghost them and warn the others. They're terrible. I say that I feel so bad. Well, he gotten better. Like he doesn't even like real full suits. He like wear sweater vest and he'll wear nice button down. At least he tries to dress up nice. My father, my child is like that. He hates suits. He definitely hates ties. And then what was crazy is he went to private school and had to wear a suit all the time. He doesn't even remember how, and that's another red flag. It should make this list. Men who do not know how to tie ties. That should make the list. My ex and him do not know how to tie a tie. And they used to have to tie ties for school and they forgot. It's a red flag. Please leave those men alone. They're very toxic. What else on this list? Men who don't take care of their kids. Yes, if they can't take care of their kids, they definitely won't take care of you or love you. They lack some type of love. Men who don't have valid driver's license. I don't think that's a complete red flag. It depends what's going on. I know some with limited vision or vision disturbances. There's men who just don't want to drive. I know men like that who like it's cheaper to just for me to Uber everywhere. Um, that is it. I can't think of anything else.
All right. Good. All right. Thank you, Lena. Now, Leonard, you there?
Yep.
Have you come across this list, sir, of demands for the ladies that want for the first encounter? What's your take or your views on this?
Yeah, I came across that list online, and personally, I think that list was intentionally put out to increase the gender war.
Okay.
That's the doggone foundation of that. Get people to talking, get people to arguing various points that are senseless, and increase the doggone divide in this gender war thing. That's all. That's the reason it's grown so popular. I mean, say if I was to put a list up of some things that are just simple common sense, it wouldn't get traction like that. Now I don't know if a male or a female developed the list or it was a team, male and female, that developed the list. But whoever put it out there, that was their doggone agenda, and the agenda worked.
Do you think they're profiting off of like I sometimes feel like they are marketing this gender war towards black people and that they're getting like some type of I don't know, they're profiting from it. I don't
Yeah,
know
well,
how.
no, you have black people profiting from it.
Mhm.
Come on now. Kevin Samuels profited off of it. Cynthia G profited off of it. And a slew load of other people on YouTube doing videos profited off of what? See, I tell people, like lawyers, okay? Lawyers get revenue off other people's misfortune, you know? Nobody
Mhm.
goes to a lawyer when they first get an injury. They
Mhm.
go to a medical professional. But then after it's determined, you could wage a lawsuit. Okay. So due to your pain and suffering, a lawyer will take a case, do a personal injury lawsuit, and then people are gone there. Oh, they were awarded $3 million. Yeah, but they don't know. 2/3 of that goes to the doggone attorney. 1/3 goes to the attorney, 1/3 goes to the law firm, the other third goes to the doggone client. So, 2 for 1, they're profiting off of you. I mean, it's just that simple.
Mhm.
But the simplest things are the hardest things to see. You ever heard that term, can't see the forest for the trees?
Mhm.
That's what's going on in this high speed, fast world of the internet. People are getting their education via YouTube and movies and stuff because I find it totally ridiculous that you get people that could quote Tupac but can't do basic math.
You got a point about that.
Yeah, I mean, you tell them, well, what's 9 times 5 minus 5? Huh? What's 9 times 5 minus 5? And they sit there thinking about it. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? But they can quote Tupac all day long. It's like, get out of here. 9 times 5 equals 45. 45 minus 5 equals 40. Every day of the week. You know?
Mhm.
Basic math. I mean, that's not like geometry, uh, trigonometry, algebra. That's basic addition and subtraction. Well, multiplication rather and subtraction. Basic. They can't even do that. But they could bump their gums on YouTube all day long, trying to get cash apps and super chats and the blah 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 blah. But see what's not being realized, I try to toll these individuals. YouTube has a whole different set of community standards that they put out. And of course they didn't read them. So that's the reason you got all these people that have been getting demonetized. Dennis Sperling, demonetized. Tree of Logic, she got demonetized.
They demonetized Dennis Sperling
Yeah, he's demonetized.
now.
Yeah, now currently, if he goes live and you click on his chat, you don't see a dollar sign down there.
Oh wow! I didn't
And I
know
think and I think he's torn off with Cash App too because what he has is something HTTPS / cash.me / dollar sign Dennis Sperling. That's not Cash App. That's some other form. Even Tria Logic, she's got a link included to her page, and that's the link that people that do Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever,
that. Mhm.
if the customer wants to leave them a tip just straight to them, not no gratuity on the meal, whereas it goes to the whoever they got the meal from, they want to give it directly to the driver. That's the app that they use for tips.
Mm.
I can't remember the name of it though. So yeah, I'm like, it, they're profiting off of or trying to profit off of any type of dysfunction. That's what they do. I sit and laugh and just do videos about all of them. Yeah, and that's all. They get a bunch of dysfunctional people, and they'll have 300 people in their doggone chat, big chat room, right? But look at what they're doing, drama and dysfunction. That's just like if this stream here was based on drama and dysfunction. Boy, be so many people in here. All you have to do is just put on their open panel. Black women ain't ish. And up use that as a title. Boy, you have so many people trying to get on the panel. Be a panel full of people, and all of them be talking crazy.
What I'm trying to figure out is what's the goal? And I ask everybody this.
What's
What's
the
the goal?
goal?
Yeah, what's the goal?
Oh, the goal is to prevent black people from making black children so that all of the, as they call them, migrants coming across the border, that are being funneled into major cities can be given voters' rights and everything else and replace the black vote with the Democrats. That's the end goal. Replace black America. The Democratic Party has no more use for black America.
I mean, that's fine. We shouldn't be voting anyway. Like
Oh,
they
yes, we should.
no, we shouldn't. I've been
Okay,
alive
well,
here.
explain to me why we shouldn't vote.
I've been alive for. First of all, we don't even fight for the right people to be in office. We do this thing where we say, "Oh, we're picking the lesser of two evils." We've been alive. Well, I'm just gonna say the past times that from when I was 18 and I was allowed to vote, I literally watched nobody that I voted for did anything for the black community. Nothing. Nobody, even in these times now. Let's just say Biden and the vice president. The rent is sky high. Groceries is sky high. Nobody we vote for is doing anything. They're going to do what they want to do. It doesn't matter what side that we vote for. Those are rich people games. They don't care about us. We should return the favor by not caring about them and wasting our time and going to the polls. So maybe if we didn't waste our time going to the polls, maybe that would strike some type of change. Or there should be other people. Um, these people are older that be running for office. Maybe we need some fresh, young-minded people to come in that are going to run for political offices that are actually going to care about the citizens of America, everyday average people, not people that were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They don't care about the American people. I don't understand how we don't get that by now. I don't understand how we don't get how we've been voting all this time that it doesn't matter. They're not doing anything for us. Not black people, not white people. They're going to do what they want to do. Whatever's going to line their pockets, whatever's going to keep more money in the government's pockets, that's what they're going to do. They don't care about any of us. They don't care about none of us. So that's number one. But when I ask what the goal is, um, the government is not creating these lists. These are one of the lists was created by a guy on Facebook. I mean, we
Oh,
found
so
this website.
it was a guy. Okay, well that's going back to the list. That has nothing to do with voting, and it has nothing to do with the voting habits of Black America.
Well, I asked like, what was the goal of this? Like, all this
Okay,
stuff.
that goal is to cause more division to keep the black population at a level that is at right now, if not lower. How's Black America going to increase in population if the men and the women are not making babies together? And I don't mean just making babies out here. I'm talking about getting married and creating a family.
I'm
That's
just
what I'm talking about. Anybody could go out and, get up in some random female's private parts, and next thing you know, a baby comes out, and then said dude want to argue it ain't mine and all of this other stuff, and don't want to own up to his responsibilities for said child. But it takes a responsible man, a man of integrity, that will be there in their child's life for the long haul and ensure that that child is not going without unless that man has expired.
what is the goal of YouTubers keep putting out
To
this?
ma- to get clicks, views, a large subscription base so that they could get monetized and get commercial revenue from videos that they run. But
So
see, the way things changed, those people that are running commercials on videos, they're not running commercials on certain types of videos, so they're not going to make any money anyway. If you're sitting here on some gender war stuff and you make a video and post it up, you will get a yellow dollar sign, which means it's not what? Advertiser friendly. So if the advertisers are not willing to advertise on YouTube because they're going to get the bulk of the money off of the YouTube user that's uploading videos, they don't need you. See, it's all a money game. It's dollars and cents. And people that are not looking at the dollars, acting like they don't have any sense, they get left out. I mean, there's some people that actually do not know. You could do a 90-second video and post it on YouTube. If you're monetized and it's a good commercial friendly video, they'll run commercials on that. I mean, are you more apt to watch somebody's 20-minute rant on whatever the hell, or just a little minute and a half video that you think may be something comical or funny? You tell me.
I don't know. I have a very wide mind. I watch each thing. Maybe people are more small minded. But when I'm saying what is the goal, it's even
I
with.
just told you the goal.
Hey, I'm talking.
I just told you the goal. Why are you yelling? I told you the goal.
You telling me something and you ain't even let me finish answering the question. What is the
You
what is the
okay? Go ahead.
what is the point of not the YouTuber, not America? I'm talking about people that are coming in these chats, that are coming and listen to this stuff. When I'm asking what is the goal, what is the goal of a man? I'm coming to, let's just say, Obsidian's channel to listen to Obsidian talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listening to Obsidian talk for what, 3-4 years?
Mm-hmm.
The men that's in the chat that's sitting there listening to him, what is
Mm-hmm.
their goal? What is their goal by sitting up there listening to Obsidian or
Okay,
whoever?
I can explain it to you. That's a very well case of misery loves company. See,
So
all of those guys, number one, they have something fixated in their mind that they should be entitled to a certain type of woman, and it's all on superficial basis, right? So they try to give the illusion that they are the type of man that's earning X amount of money and this and that. And they have all this criteria for the different women. And I'm like, that's when I get like Dr. Evil in the movie Austin Powers. Right.
okay, that's fine, but they're not achieving. Even if they think that they're XYZ type of man, they're not achieving his goal of getting a woman, because even as this list said, a red flag is a man that sits there on the internet all day and talk about women. Even if a man has a faceless profile, I could meet a man in the street and I could tell if he's a manosphere man. I could tell by the way a man speak if he's engaging in these conversations on the internet, and that will
Mm-hmm.
automatically turn me off from them. So that's what I'm saying. They're sitting up here listening to this stuff for the past 3-4 years. They're still haven't obtained this woman that they want. Even with the passport bros, they feel like they can get have a better chance of getting these women by going overseas. And as I can see, and I feel like anybody else can clearly see, that that is not the case either. That a lot of this stuff is pointless and is mindless. I don't know if it's entertainment or if it's the misery loves company thing, but I don't understand why after 4 years that men will still want to be miserable listening to Obsidian or listening to Donovan. Is that his name? Donovan or Dennis? Donovan Sharp and Dennis Sperling, both of them. I
Right.
don't I don't understand the point of these men. I mean, there's thousands of them. There's thousands of men in these chats, and I'm just trying to wonder. Y'all, they sit up there and tell women, "Oh, you're fat, or you wear weave. Nobody wants you." Da 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 da. Okay, we didn't heard it all. So, what is the new goal now that you let us know that we're fat and that we wear weave and nobody wants us? For 4 years, we didn't heard it. So I'm just trying to figure out what are we trying to prove? Like what are we like What are we trying to prove with these type of lists? What are we trying to prove to the opposite sex? Are we trying to prove that one sex is better than the other sex? Because if we're consistently trying to prove that, nobody's ever going to win. Nobody's ever going to win. But it's been 4 or 5 years since we've been talking about it. I just think the conversation is exhausted. Some people are going to die alone, whether if it's men or women, and some people are going to be very happy in their relationships. I mean, it is what it is. It's a numbers game, also, or it's a numbers game. It's a self-esteem game. It's a self-love game. It's a self-respect game. There's all these elements to this for us to be still sitting up here as a group trying to tell men what to do with women, trying to tell women what to do with men, trying to tell women, oh, this is a red flag if a man doesn't have a license, or men, this is a red flag if a woman wears weave. All they're doing is creating unhappy people. That's all we're creating. We're creating women that don't even, women that are happy to be celibate, women that don't want to get married, women that don't want to have children. And then on the men's side, it's like you just created men that just hate women. They just hate them. Just hate. Women don't be hating the men. They just know they're not going to deal with them. But there's so much hate coming from these men. I don't understand what is the goal of this. If you don't want the woman, or if you hate women, you can stop talking about it and just live the rest of your life not dating women. And some people enjoy their own company. You don't have to have a woman. I just don't understand why we keep spewing this rhetoric. I'm very glad. I told somebody, if Cynthia G had to go down for all the other channels to go down, would you call that a casualty of war, a sacrifice? I'm ready for all of them to be gone, because it's not causing even any friendships. You can barely be friends with the opposite sex anymore because there's so much tension on each side. It's hard for people to even be friends, be co-workers, just have basic nice interpersonal relationships with each other, because these couple of thousands of men have another couple of thousand men in their chat, and there's nothing productive about it. Every time I'm scrolling on YouTube, there's just so many conversations about this, and I personally just want them to stop, because you're either going to find love or you're not. If you do not find love, as long as you're loving yourself, I promise you is going to be all right. As long as you can love and respect yourself, you're going to be all right. And if you can love and respect yourself, I guarantee you somebody's going to be drawn into the love and respect that you have for yourself. And this is what more of these channels need to be talking about, the love and respect that they should have for themselves. You're never going to get a woman. You're never going to get a man. Or let me say, you're never going to find a compatible partner if you don't have any love or respect for yourself. So this is what these people need to be talking about. We get it. Women wear weaves, men are bandits. We get it. We get it. We get it. We get it. What we have to start talking about something more productive than this if we want to move forward as a people, or if you even want to move forward in your own personal relationship, or your relationship with yourself, or your relationship with God. What we talking about now, that's not getting it. It's not.
Okay, I was just waiting. Now, there are people that are doing things that don't pass the common sense test. Key point, you mentioned the passport bros. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, now, what do they say? They say they meet a better caliber of women outside of the United States, in the Dominican Republic, or they go to Colombia or whatever, than they meet here in the United States. Isn't that their mantra?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you can't just walk up to some woman. It doesn't even matter. She could be a doggone moose wolf. You can't go in a club and proposition that woman with money for her to go back to a hotel with you. So I'm like, you all's whole mantra is flawed. You all are spending money to take a flight from here to go there to buy the box. Okay? Now, how are you going to say you're meeting a better quality of woman over there when all you're with over there are box sellers? See, me, I speak in code, whereas people know exactly what I'm talking about because certain words will cause someone's a flag on someone's channel. I know this. So I speak in code, but people do know what I'm talking about. So how does that make that doesn't pass the common sense test? Now, when you got all of these Osimianites and the rest of them, they are totally unhappy men and they don't know how to do any self improvement on themselves in order to make themselves marketable men to women. You know, I mean, I did a video on him. I was like, this is the tallest refrigerator that could go into a home. This refrigerator is 6 feet tall. I'm standing in front of it. You see, I'm taller than the refrigerator. I'm like, dude, you're like 5'6" and wide. You know, you wear 46 in a suit jacket, but you're 5'6". I wear a size 40 in a suit jacket, and I'm 6'2". Bruh, ain't nobody jocking for someone that's a member of the Lollipop Guild, you know, and that twists him off the wrong way. Oh, well, see, all these women talking about, he got to be 6 feet or more. The height of the average man in the United States, really, if you look up statistically, they 5'7". I'm like, okay, what they got to do with what women choose to be with? See, they always try to find a statistic to float their narrative as if it's the word according to Jesus Christ. They're all losers. All of them are equally worthless in my eyes. I
Yeah.
yield. I yield my time.
They are losers. I mean, that's me, but yeah, I get it. I get it. Uh, I think that they also need to understand women like all different types of. I look at real life. I just was on Instagram and one of my salon sisters just got engaged. She's a plus size girl, and the guy, I can't tell how tall he was. She had heels on. They looked about the same height as she was in her heels and he was in on I mean, obviously flat shoes or whatever. But I took the time to look at this couple, and I don't know what he does for work, but I know that she's a hairstylist. And I just sit up here and say that I'm so happy for these people that were able to not listen this man not listen to not lose out on love because somebody's telling him, oh, her dress size is too big. For her not to be able to lose out on love because his locks weren't, to whoever made this list standard, or I mean, his hair was done. Obviously, she's a hairstylist, but if she met him and his hair was looking crazy, and she would have missed out on love because of this toxicity that's going on. I think that those men that are in those group chats, that they have to understand. I'm always going to say self-love first. I'm always going to say it. If you have self-love, you're gonna. It don't matter how short. There are short men that have wives. Like there are, or there are men that don't make $100,000 a year that have wives. This conversation is discouraging them to even thinking that anybody is going to uh, be with them because they keep hearing the same things over and over. A girl want a guy that's this six. I mean, I like a tall guy. I like a tall guy. I'm guilty, but I've dated guys that were 5'4", 5'6", 5'7", 5'9". It didn't deter me. I didn't look at the guy and be like, "Oh, you're 5'7". I'll never date you." That's ludicrous. That's insane. So, but that was maybe in 2000, I don't know, 7 to 2014, whatever. And when these conversations weren't being had and people just like people for people, where social media wasn't, you didn't have to uh, be this reflection of what social media is trying to tell you to be. People just liked you for you. It didn't matter. So
Mm-hmm.
them hearing this repeatedly every day, that women only like tall guys, or women only like this, or women. Did you actually go and meet a woman? Like, I asked some of them that. When's the last time you met up with a woman? If you keep listening to this stuff, your self-esteem is going to be so low that you'll never even have the courage to go out there and meet a woman. As long as you clean, you keep your hair cut nice, you don't smell bad, you brush your teeth, you have self-love and self-respect, it shouldn't matter how tall you are. I'm not even a stickler on weight. I like big guys. I like skinny guys. I like all types of guys. I'm not really like, I'm more of a personality type person, which I hear nobody talk about in these conversations. Nobody talks about nobody's personality. Nobody talks about this. So if they remove themselves, I do something where I have to be off of social media. I have to be off of Instagram. Is the worst to me. If I'm on Instagram every single day, just seeing these women and seeing these type of men and seeing people drive these type of cars and la da la da la da, it makes my mind go crazy to where I have to stop it and have to remember what was my life like before social media. What type of things was I into? What type of things did I like? And that has nothing to do with dating at all. But I think that sometimes that they should just learn to pull away from this, and it will help their self-esteem be better. They have to pull away from it and actually go out into the world and talk to women. You don't always have to talk. Kevin Samuels put in these men's head that a girl got to wear like a size 2 for you to I don't know, because I don't ever think the word
It's actually size 4.
a
Yeah,
size.
Boy,
when it comes to him, I'm not going to say it on this panel because this is not my panel.
Yeah.
But I did post up a video about my total thoughts about that, and it was also a Freudian slip that occurred.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So with that, but with him, it was like, if you're such a high value man, why can't you get the leak fixed in your BMW?
Right.
I mean, I did a video about that. I was like, let me pull my Mercedes out the garage. Pull the Mercedes out, shine the camera. Well, took the picture. Like, you see the floor there? Do you see any oil drips?
Right.
No, you don't. And my Mercedes is a more expensive vehicle than he has. You're such a high value man. Why are you living in a luxury apartment and not a house? Well, that's a simple one, because you don't have appropriate credit score. You do not have the money for the down payment, and that X's you right out the housing market.
Before
It's very simple.
before you continue, I got a new person in the panel.
Oh, okay.
AB Media, you there?
Yeah,
I
I'm
see
here.
you back, Hustle Muscle. Welcome. I think it's your first time on this panel, maybe. The list. What is your view and takes of what these ladies have been putting out here, or a man that wrote this, whoever wrote this list? What's your view on this? And Dieterel, the links in the chat room. Welcome. Go
I
ahead.
haven't seen this particular list, but as regards to the list, the ladies put out of places they don't want to grow. I'm gonna make this very simple for you. You can always get a dog and go die alone.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about that list.
What would he say?
But did a woman or a man and a woman actually make this list?
Well, the word on the street is that a man potentially concocted the first list, I think
Mm-hmm.
this list right here might be done by Lace, or it could be done by the same source. We're not sure. All this really started after the so-called cheesecake factory female or woman created this scenario
Oh,
about what
okay.
she
Yeah.
likes on the
Now
first date. And
that's
here's the funny thing. That was a skit that was not real. That was like,
yeah.
a creative video just to see it. From what I'm hearing, she did to conduct a social experiment.
Yeah. See how
And
much traction it get.
the outcome that outcome of the social experiment, it brings forth what we see a list today, which is I find it very preposterous. So that's the background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even if it
Well,
was a skit, it exposed a lot of heifers.
well, I'll say it like this because there's no other way to say it. When I did, because I didn't see the video until it showed on the news, the local news here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Oh,
not on.
it happened. And where's that? In Detroit? What city?
I don't know what city it happened in, but they showed it on the local news here in Georgia.
Wow.
So when they showed the TikTok video, as soon as I heard her diction, I was like, there is no way in the world that we would have ever went on any type of date. Okay? I
Mm-hmm.
do not date women who can't articulate the English language.
Okay.
I don't even hang around people who can't articulate the English language. I just don't do that. It's not my thing. Like they be talking about, man, they was up there, they got killed. Killed? That's something that bagpipe players wear. Looks like a skirt, but it's a kilt.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you I liked it him? Liked did? You're gonna make a plural out of a word that you can't make a plural out of?
Yeah, I'll
No,
put it to you
no,
this way,
no.
brother.
I
I'll put
can't.
it to you this way. I put it to you this way, brother. Pookie can have them. I don't see what the big deal is.
Well, I don't even get into like all of the, with all of that stuff. They want, oh, the Pookie and Ray Ray, this and that. I'm sitting here like, look, okay.
We all got a little Pookie in us. It's a mixed bag, but go ahead.
But I'm like this here. If your credit is right and everything else in your life is tight, you really don't have time to worry about the other stuff. I mean, there are some people that, I'll make videos because that's what they do on YouTube. And I'm like, okay. And, I just do it for doggone ish and giggles, you know what I'm saying? And make a couple of dollars here and there on the 21st every month.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care, like, no, nigga, because you go to, no, who? What did you call me? Last time I checked, I was a black man, you know? Oh, you think you all that because what? Because I grew up on the south side of Chicago in the ghetto, and I always knew there was better to be had in the world someplace. And I got off my hind parts and achieved it and got it while you all are still sitting back in Inglewood talking about free Larry Hoover. Yeah, sounds like a plan to me. That and blaming the white man and systemic racism and sideways racism and every other type of look. This is America. Get off your hind parts. Do what you need to do. You only get out this country what you put in. All that other stuff, forget it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
Yeah.
mean I mean that's as real as you can get with it. Well, a lot of people complaining, especially those they're like, we were slaves. We who? Don't you mean the ancestors? Well, you know what I'm talking about. No, be more exact, because you could trip and fall into a cotton field and wouldn't know you were in one. What do you mean it's we? This is
Yeah.
not France. Sorry, we, monsieur. Hoo, hoo,
Well,
ho,
actually,
ho.
they're right. They are right to a degree. Some of them are still slaves in their mind.
That is true. That's where slavery lies. See, the worst form of slavery that could ever be imposed on a person is without chains. Enslave their mind.
Mm.
If you don't believe you can, you're not even going to try. Like I told
Mm-hmm.
my children, the only failure in life is you didn't even try. If you try and you fail, you'll learn from the failure what not to do, and then you could try it again. You know, that's how. What you? I'm like, what do you think? Elon Musk just fell into success because he's successful? No, you fail your way into success. You don't succeed into it.
Yep, I'm a programmer. I can tell you, if you don't know how to fail, you're in the wrong business.
Exactly. So, like I said, with that list, me personally, I think that list was devised and put out there for traction on the internet to further aggravate the gender war between Black Americans, because too many people, you know, instead of researching something, they see it. How many people you have you encountered? Well, I heard, yeah, you heard the earth is flat, right? You heard that. Did you research it? No, well, I heard does not mean it's true. But, hey, I'm an Uncle Ruckus and stuff in certain circles. So, what do I know?
Um, let me
I don't
read
feel
the
bad
chat
about
room.
that
Hold on,
too.
hold on. Let me read chat room. CD Darrell and Jay Shine. As I know, I saw Jay Shine earlier in here. And D Darrell asks, "What's wrong with FedEx? FedEx? You have to listen to the stream earlier. D Darrell.
No, ain't nothing wrong with a FedEx. I asked the same question. That's like somebody that worked at Amazon. I said whoever made this list must have been a hostility, type girl that want a man. Would they say high value $100,000 a year?
Mm-hmm.
Man, if a man is working, as long as he's not selling drugs or pimping, we should respect men that have jobs. It doesn't matter what type of job he has; he should be respected. It doesn't matter.
That's
To be
very
perfectly
true.
honest with you, though, I just didn't. I just stopped paying attention after the first list. I saw that first list. I was like, okay, whatever. You can take that and shove it. I like whatever. And I haven't ever. I know some other lists came out. I was like, okay, I don't really care. And, I've been trying to focus on my business.
And you know what? That is the exact thing. Everybody should be focused on their business, not focused on what this person's doing, that person's doing. Who cares? I don't care what the next person is doing. I don't. I personally don't. I'm sorry. I don't care about what a
Yeah.
celebrity is doing. I don't care about what certain folks on YouTube are doing that are not celebrities. I don't care. It's entertainment sometimes, but at the end of the day, I don't care if this girl is dating a guy that's living with his baby's mom. I can care less. This has nothing to do with me. They should
It-
be. This man that just said that is
That's
doing
their
the
business.
right thing by worrying about his business.
See, and that's it. There's
That's
only
their
so
business.
many
I
hours
don't
of the
care about that
day.
kind of
See,
stuff.
if people have their own business to mind, then they won't have other people's business to mind.
Correct.
Agreed.
Make sure you guys hit the like button, share the stream, and support the channel, either the super chat or the cash app. I mean, it is available. Very lengthy stream, and I've done this in a while, but please show your support. What else I had on here as pictures? Let me check my pictures. Matter of fact, let me move forward and show this picture right here, since we already gone through the so-called dinner. So, yeah. And like I said, they can show up that list. Now, this one I just noticed recently, caught my attention, and it shows here and want people's take. As you can tell here, let me make sure I show myself good. All right, it says here, which one is your parents black? Said my dad. She walked away. Now, I find interesting looking at this and was laughing. And I say, wait. So you as a woman with your colorful hair, you could deny a man a brother, which most women don't mind, especially the sis that a dude looks very lighter and he has curly hair. To really ask a deep question like that of which parent is black, which one's not, and let me just zoom in so I can see this in there. And find it ironic that this one walk away. So it's saying you rather that the father be white and the mother be black? Any thoughts before I go into my own diatribe with this?
Well, I don't know why people think just because you have a light skinned black person that one of their parents is white.
I straight up don't give a shit. I don't care if
I
it's
don't
Black
either.
Women Day, and I don't care who Black Men Day. They can date whoever they want. I've,
Yeah.
I'll tell you where I'm coming from. I laugh at divestors. You want to know why? Because I
Mm-hmm.
already got white people on both sides of my family.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. So you're not hurting my feelings by saying you want to go date a white man. Go be happy. Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hurt my feelings with that.
Yeah. I mean, and me, I'm Louisiana Creole, so I just sit there and be like,
Okay, so
okay,
yeah.
okay. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's like do you and be great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my thing with this portion, and let's know that I remember some recent content creator was folks hell bet I don't know which type of race the parent is, because in her mind she feels that if the mother's black and the father's white, that he's gonna have more of a better feel and stay around family, this, that, and the third, and all this nonsense, right? Even to the point,
Really?
yeah, that's what her thinking. And she said that this man is gonna be more what's the word? The one thing I got out of it is you're looking for a cuck chick. You get me? So you think that
No, I don't. I don't.
hold on,
I'm
let me
listening, but I don't have a clue what that word means.
let me finish. In their mind, they're thinking they feel that because the father is white and the mother is black, right? And the product of that comes a biracial child that's a boy, is more sure that this is more easier to control, and he'll let him do. She'll be free to do a little bit more things, and that's why I use the term "cuck" loosely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird, but that's the thinking that some women think that out of this interracial union, that it creates a more submissive man.
Yeah,
Man.
that's been thought for the longest time. I mean, that's just how it's been. I mean, you had this. This sister told me talking about light skinned brothers ain't in no more. I was
Yeah,
like,
I heard about that.
honestly, I was like, well, they recently named a Broadway theater. They renamed it after Lena Horne. So you explain to me, when were dark skinned Black American women ever in? Then we can have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
To be
Oh,
perfectly honest with you, I hate that light
her
skin.
feelings was hurt.
Mhm. To be
I'm
perfectly
like,
honest with you, I hate that light skin, dark skin bullshit with a passion. You're all Negroes at the and then I mean the other word, but I'm trying to be nice on Chaos's panel.
Yeah, if you can, Mhm.
well, the thing
You're
is
all
this.
Negroes. You're all Negroes, and in the eyes of the white man. So what the fuck are you complaining about? Excuse me.
Yeah, well, yeah, my take on the whole thing is that's like some throwback from slavery, the house Negro, field Negro, blah, 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 that has
Mm-hmm.
been carried on over the decades post slavery and is still being doggone, you know, regurgitated in society today. And it's like, okay. I mean, I've had people even told me I had light skin privilege. I'm like, okay.
All that crap is what it is.
Yeah, I know. It's funny to me. I just sit and laugh about it. I'm like, I don't have anything that I didn't earn. Well, when you got in that trouble in Chicago and you had to go to court, you went to Skokie. And you know Skokie's racist. And all they do is send black folk to the doggone penitentiary. I'm like, yeah, but how many black folk go in there with a defense attorney? I had a defense attorney. I knew I was going to be leaving and going back to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
You all get a public defender, and you don't even examine what the words mean. Public defender. That is a lawyer that is given to you for free to defend the public against your criminal hind parts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Exactly. So I'm like, man, I'm not tripping. They were like, you don't seem worried at all. I'm like, I'm not. I got a great defense attorney. He hasn't lost a case yet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
His $5,000 retainer was paid up front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did something I shouldn't have done, you know, acting silly, but in the end, it all worked out. I got my point across. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But oh, you had light skin privilege. That's the reason they didn't lock you up. Okay, yeah, all right.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, my thing about it personally, that just find this alone, and like I said, she has the color hair, which is questionable already, but my thing is this, that if you think that dealing with a non-black man and he's in a relationship with you and the outcome produces this, as you see it in this image up here, that you're going to deal with more because it's more controlling, it tells me your whole premise is you want control. You're not seeking for no relationship. You're not playing your role. You just want to take advantage and say, I want to be the driver's seat. I want to do what the hell I want without questioning anything. And this guy's going to say, yes,
Hold on, wait.
yes.
Chaos. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Rewind for
Right.
now. Let me make this. Let me get this straight.
Yeah.
She thinks she's gonna have more control because his father was white.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. There's a problem with that. See, I actually know how I value white men, and I can tell you,
Mm-hmm.
they don't take. They are not gonna take black woman's bull crap. I can
I
tell
know.
you.
We know. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna train their sons, even if he's dark, to take black woman's bull crap either.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they get. I don't know where they got that fantasy land from, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tyler Perry.
You know,
I don't know
I
where Fantasyland is coming
Oh,
at.
I'm
But
glad
white
you
women
said.
don't give white
Wait a
men
minute.
bull crap.
I'm so glad you said that because what did Mr. Cartwright do once he got fired? He kicked that heifer to the curb.
yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, you look at the standardized Tyler Perry plot. Dark skinned brother does black woman wrong. Light
Yeah,
skinned brother to the rescue. The end, happily married after.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's his.
Psychological program.
Yeah, that's his plot line.
Yeah.
He became a billionaire off of that.
And a lot of people have, especially a lot of women, have the audacity to get complained when he said if he need to pay the light bill, that's good enough. I see you paid this dude money for over 20 years now and made him nicely rich. To the point now,
Handsomely.
Hansley. This, remember, he didn't start really wearing a dress until 1999. Up to when he talked about that light bill nonsense. That's a period over 24 years. And he became billionaire in less than 20 years. So it
Mm-hmm.
tells you where your focus, your attention, and where your heart lies. And that's in Tyler Perry's movies. Majority of them when he's dressing like a little chick, and the schema of black men and black women, especially when they deal with colorism in a bad way.
And as of the people of age in Tyler Perry's movies, it's all buffoonery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
You look at all the old characters, I don't know them by name, but it's all buffoonery. So The older people are buffoons.
Mm-hmm.
The younger people that are still doggone viable to create life are on this page. Doo da doo da. I mean, when you have, and this is what I've seen, and I'm included in that ratio. A woman you're dated, if not married to, I want to see that new Tyler Perry movie. Now our brain is telling us, "Oh God,"
Yeah.
but just to not create any static in the household,
Yeah,
we will go
just to keep peace in the household.
to keep the peace in the household. We will go and see this trash
Yeah.
so she's entertained. But the one thing we're not going to do is allow conversation, and you're going to bring that back into our house. Because the first thing we're going to say, hey, that's a movie. That's not reality. Now,
Mhm.
well, you see the way we're not going to talk about this. Well, I want to talk about it. Well, call your mom or a friend or somebody and tell them you seen the movie. I'm not going to have a conversation with you. That's a movie. That's not reality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. You know,
And you know what the funny part is? Tyler Perry be taking digs at black women too in the movie. You actually pay attention.
He was doing what?
You be taking digs at black women too if you actually pay attention to some of his movies.
Oh, didn't know that.
well, I mean, if you look at this one movie he had that was called Good Deeds with Gabrielle Union
Mm-hmm.
in it. If you look at that love
That
scene, that don't look very a man in a love scene with a woman. And that's when things started to go the other way. They was like, that look kind of, he's not that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how can you not perform a love scene and look into it when to the eye, Gabrielle Union is a totally gorgeous woman?
well, you in bed with a witch. That might have
Mm-hmm.
something to do with it.
No, he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
in bed with what he want to be in bed with.
Now, that might
Is
have
my
something to do with it too.
That's my opinion on it. Just an
Okay.
opinion.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I
Let me
mean,
move.
you can't doggone convince me that he's not on the hot pockets Pikachu team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But let's move forward. I got Deidre on the panel. Deidre, your takes on this information, the list. Well, actually, besides what you listed so far, the list, and even what you see on the screen above, so you could pick. Floor is yours.
Which one is the black parent?
Well, I talked about about this thing about the list of what women will not take.
The dating the
Yeah,
the, the dating
that was
list.
the first thing I talked about. Yeah, and this one
Oh
is.
yeah, man. Man, I've seen the list that the women came out, then the men came out with a list,
Mhm.
and I do think, like someone said earlier, this is basically to fuel the gender war. But I do think that the list was full of a lot of superficial stuff.
Yeah.
The real topic should be about what are your what are your expectations on a first date? Like what are
Mhm.
you expecting? And I think that if a person agreed, you had to agree to go on that date. Number one. So if a
Mhm.
person asks you, "Hey, we're going to the movies," and you don't have to agree to it, you can say, "No, I'm not going."
Yeah.
True.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like that, like when I was doing the dating stuff on my channel,
Yeah.
I talked about whatever an enjoyable date is relative to the two people who decide to go on the date, not what society or other people think is a good date.
Totally agree.
Mm,
There are some
mm-hmm.
people who just want to
Agreed.
go and walk the damn park and
Yeah.
whatever and chill out and they just want to spend time and have conversation. Some people want to go they want to go to Applebee's or Chili's because they ain't been there in a long time. Some people want to go on a nice 4 or 5 star restaurant if that's what you can afford. If that's something you typically do,
Yeah.
then it's okay. I'm basically like, I teach men that if you cannot afford to date, you cannot afford to date. But in the fact that you can afford to date, go to places or offer to take a woman on to places that you typically go to on your level.
Mm-hmm.
If all you can afford is a $75 to $100 date, don't break your bank trying to take somebody somewhere that costs $400 to $500. Let her know. Listen, I like to take you to this nice restaurant. This is what it is, and then she could either say yes or no. And if she say no, and she
Mm-hmm.
want to, or and she offer some more expensive places that probably is above what she's accustomed to, well, that may not be the woman you want to deal with. Now, if it's a woman who, based on her presentation, is used to going to certain places, and you can't afford to take her those places, but that's typically what she can afford, then that may not be the woman for you. You
Yep.
cannot afford this woman based on relative to what she is accustomed to. And so you have to in my position for my because my thing is this. Um every woman is different for what they look for. Our women are not the same, and I just think that making this list kind of creates a situation where people are thinking as a monolith, and um that's not the case. And I'm gonna use Cheesecake Factory because this is kind of what I think sprung this list.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know about y'all, but the cheesecake factories in Houston look really nice. and so I was shocked at the people that were um
Well,
that had issues with Cheesecake Factory, because I'm sorry, the cheesecake, and I know I've been to 2 cheesecake factories. They are in upscale areas. I don't know if
mm-hmm.
all cheesecake factories are equal, but the 2 cheesecake factories that I know that are in Houston, they are pretty nice restaurants to go to.
Yeah.
And yeah, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
brother.
I've been to the Cheesecake Factory, and I'm gonna make it very simple for you. If the ladies don't like it, I really don't care. Cheesecake Factory is only for 2 things. Well, 2 or 3 things. I'm engaged to you. I'm proposing to you. I'm already married to you. It is not for the first date. Same with Ruth Chris. I am not spending that kind of money on a first date. Plain and simple. You don't like me, you can always go kick rocks or get a dog.
Well, I
Now,
mean,
if
And that's
I
not.
could elaborate,
Let me be clear. That's not me saying I don't want to have fun, because the date's supposed to be fun. I'm not saying I don't want to have fun on the date, but cheesecake is a lot of money, and it's a very nice place. It's an upper tier place, and I'm just not going to do that on the first date, especially on a chick talking about she want me to spend $200 on a date. And no, that's just not going to happen.
now for me, in my opinion, for me, like, I don't mind taking a woman out. I mean, I'm a married man, but me, if
Yeah.
I'm dating, I don't mind spending $100, $200 to $300. That's nothing to me. So like, but I'm used to going to certain places. If I'm accustomed to certain places, I want to show you what I do, and if
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
something you're interested in. So for me, that's not I don't mind spending money on a first date, but what I'm not going to do is spend money outside of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not splurging on you the first date. Now I'll take you out on a nice date. We can go somewhere really nice. We can hit a nice jazz club, whatever, drink and
Yeah. There's nothing
something
wrong with
that's chill or whatever, all that good stuff. But I'm not trying to break the bank to outside of my comfort zone on the first date. I'm not. I wouldn't advise men to do that. But to me,
that.
that's
Agreed.
only relative to what you are accustomed to based on your income, based on your lifestyle. That varies per person, your age. There's other things that factor. So I mean, if that person is not thinks that Cheesecake Factory or whatever place, I think they brought a couple of restaurants that are below their standard. But see, this is the issue. And this is something that I hear guys complain about. You got women who work at Walmart
Yeah,
saying that they won't go that they
right.
won't go to certain
Exactly.
restaurants and they can't even afford to go to it'll be different if you are taking out an accountant who makes
Yeah, account
150 to,
door or something. I can see that, but if you're working at
yeah, that's what
Walmart,
I'm saying. That can, but she can afford to take herself. But they have people who can't afford to go to these places. They want you to take them to places they can't even afford to go to. That to me
mm,
is
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah,
That's my position. Like, you can't even afford, like, and I understand for men in the position that men are in, they want to impress a woman, which is nothing wrong with that. I
right.
think you should want to impress a woman, but it should not be out of your comfort zone.
Mm,
And that's the key thing. And so these guys, like, I remember somebody did content where they showed a guy, he took the lady out on a date and he spent like $300-400 or something like that. And he thought the lady was coming home with him. And he got mad because the lady was like, "Oh, I had a great time. I'll see you later," and left. And he felt jaded because of that. He thought because he spent all that money on her that he was getting some sex
huh?
afterwards. And
You're gonna
that to
get
me
cheap,
is
huh?
is stupid.
Yeah.
You spending
Now,
money like that does not entitle you to a woman body.
No, it
right.
doesn't.
But
Now, if I may add something to the pot, and I will be brief.
Go ahead.
Uh,
Go
are
ahead.
all of you all familiar with that old HBO series, The Wire?
yes,
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you recall when D'Angelo took his girl to that upscale restaurant?
I don't remember that one. I know he
Okay,
died, but
yeah,
okay,
no,
got you.
okay, this what happened. He took her to an upscale restaurant, and one of the concierge or whatever they call them, he rolled the dessert cart over there, right? And the ones on the top are the samples. That's not the one that they get a customer. So they got done eating, rolled the cart over there, and she's like, "Ooh, I want chocolate cake." He just reached over and took it, and the guy was like, "Oh, sir, no, those are only the samples. These are the actual." So he went inside the cart and then gave her the actual customer chocolate cake. Now he's sitting there with a look on his face like he didn't got disrespected. It's like, no, you took her someplace where other people were that they are accustomed to the procedures that go on in said place.
Mm-hmm.
You're out of your league. Although, yeah, you had all that good money to spend on this, you know what I'm saying? But, culturally, that's not how you roll.
Right.
So you're out of place. And see, that's what a lot of people they want to do. They think, well, I got the money, so I can. Okay, you have the money. You could do A, B, C, D, and E, but there are certain things and behavioral
Mm-hmm.
practices that go on in certain places. You
Certain
can't, yeah, you can't go to some place like that and behave as if you at Outback Steakhouse. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it would behoove people to go to where, places you're familiar with. Whereas if your guest is your level, if not below, they will be accustomed to that, you know. Or if it's a flip side, if it's, say, it's a woman, she's a very high earning individual, and she is used to certain types of restaurants, it would be in her best favor to let the man know this is how things go, and when he comes over, if he's dressed appropriately. Sort of like it's like I reference movies because a lot of people seen movies. Like when they had Set It Off, when Jada Pinkett came over in that loud outfit going on a date with the banker to the company function, and he had to stop and get her an evening gown.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. That wasn't. She was out of place. She didn't understand the culture she was, you know,
Entering
yeah,
into.
integrating into, and so, yeah. I mean that plays a part in it. So I just think that um, the list to me was more about people who, like habitually dating. You got all kinds of experience. You dating, and you're obviously you made that list based on mistakes that you encountered or other people
Hmm.
encountered, and stuff like that, and that just speaks to some of the dysfunction that goes on in dating. And to me, you shouldn't. Again, somebody had to agree to go on these dates. An agreement had to been made. If you're not comfortable going on a date a certain place, just say you're not comfortable going on that date.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means you're not dating that person and don't move forward, then that's what it's going to be. Move on.
Yeah. I mean, I remember one of the first dates I went on with someone I had met, and I was like, let's go to the river walk, and grab some stuff to eat, and we could walk and talk and look at all the history of Savannah, Georgia. Okay, so we go down there. They were from New York. I'm from Chicago. There's this sandwich. They call it a gyro. We call it a gyro. It was a Greek restaurant, and they had tables outside where you could sit and eat. So we went, ordered the food. I paid for it. Probably ran about $16 maybe, with drinks, what, 22? And we're out there, and she had never been there. So we walking around looking at all the history, the historic sites, and they're like, had the different stuff about slavery, this and that, and this all. And she's looking at us, reading the stuff, and it's like, oh man, this is something. We're walking back. They had a saxophone player out there with his, hat on the ground for tips. He's playing New York, New York. And
Mm-hmm.
she was just like, oh my goodness. And she took my hand, and we continued walking the whole time we were there holding hands. That was a win-win first date. That was a win.
Right.
And I didn't spend a lot of money. It was someplace she had never been, but it was someplace that you didn't have to be so familiar with the goings on that you could not fit in.
Yeah, brothers should definitely learn to be creative with their dating.
Exactly. I mean, you got the water right there. You got the river boats that go up and down. You want to ride the riverboat, or if that comes up, hey, yeah, we'll get on there and ride the riverboat down and back. You know, and the ocean breeze, and I mean, if that doesn't spell romance, I don't know what romance is. See, so, but a lot of these people, they think they could just textbook, getting educated on YouTube and just buy their way into a given situation, Because see, I could have equally have took her to the Aquastar restaurant, you know, at the Westin Hotel, where if you go and order a burger from them, the hamburgers are like $14. And it's not that it's so much a better grade of beef or something like that. It's a 3-star, almost 4-star restaurant. So you're going to pay those prices. And they
For that
got the
premium price.
pianists out there playing the piano and all this ritzy titsy, whatever. And it's like, okay. And we're eating burgers with a pianist playing on the piano. Well, I mean, come on now. That you make it make sense. We got
All
on
right.
jeans and t-shirt with a
Hello?
piano player in an
Hello?
upscale restaurant and we're eating hamburgers and fries. Then you leave out, you don't end up spending $45.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
then what? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what now? You done just spent doggone $45, $50.
Mm-hmm.
What else is left? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you did not impress the person. You just took them someplace that they never been. You didn't move them. You didn't make an emotional connection. You know, you didn't laugh, joke, have any type of conversation to get to know the individual. None of that stuff. So I think the art of dating, which it is an art, that's like a lost art.
It is.
It is. All right.
And I feel so sorry for these younger people that do not have parents that could give them the proper instruction and information on this is how you know,
Yeah.
because they don't know. I mean, they only know what they know.
Yeah. Let me ask Deidre another question. Move forward. Deidre, are you there? So
Yeah, I'm here.
now I said earlier about this picture here with the lady with the purple hair and the biracial man. To what I said and what people in the panel have already referenced to this, what's your take on it?
Which one? Which
The
one?
one you see on the screen that from what it is said by a few ladies on social media and on, we could say YouTube, that in their mind, if the father is white and the mother is black, some of them said that makes a better child. As you see, the boy is a product of that, and as he'd be more submissive and be more endear of cuckolding ways with his sister, to the point where she could do whatever she want and get away with more with a biracial
That's
man.
not true. Why would they say that?
Well, I can't
Well,
say names
most
because this is like
biracials you
some
wouldn't
sick.
even know. But most biracial people, particularly if they mix with black, most of them you wouldn't even know they was biracial unless they told you. For the most part,
I know.
I mean,
I know.
most biracials are not that ambiguous where you wondering what they mix with. I mean, a lot. Even just look at Barack for example. If Barack
Barack
Mm-hmm.
Obama.
never said his mom was white, nobody wouldn't have thought looking at Barack. Oh, you definitely look mixed. I'm sorry, he
Yeah.
don't. He don't look like a. He doesn't look that ambiguous. He doesn't. So I mean, there is no correlation with parenting and skin tone
Mm-hmm.
and racial features.
Mm-hmm.
So having a biracial parent where one is not black doesn't mean that the child is getting better quality of parenting. Matter of fact, I would actually go on to say that, because of the identity issues, both parents are not well equipped to raise children to understand how to navigate being biracial. They would probably have a worse outcome as far as their own personal identity.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Okay.
That much is true because I mean, it's not a lot of triracial people running about. By triracial, I mean you're trying to figure out what they are.
Yeah. That's a small minority. I mean, but I mean, they both are parents. I mean, which one is the black parent? I mean, I consider biracial people that are mixed black to be black. I treat them as such unless they go out of their way showing self-hatred of their blackness, then I treat them otherwise. I mean, I had a lady that worked for me for like 5 years who was biracial. And to be honest with you, she did have um very, very curly, bushy hair, and she had blue eyes, blue greenish eyes. But when you really look at her facial expressions, her body, and the way she was built, you would think there's no doubt in your mind you knew that was a black woman. But she would go out of her way to let people know she was biracial all
Okay.
the fucking time, and it was very annoying to my wife who worked that because she hated the fact that she would, because what she would do is she would act one way around the white people who work for us or the white
Yes.
clients, and then she tried to act a totally different way around black people. And I actually had to sit her down. I actually had to sit her down one time where she disrespected me
Hmm.
by trying to speak slang, like because and she know that's not my common vernacular, and she thinking but that I was gonna let her get away with that, and she came across very unprofessional. And
Hmm.
I told her not to disrespect me like that, and that I had to make her aware of her behavior, and maybe she needs to get some help with that, being a person of mixed race, which you can just be yourself instead of trying to fit in. And if there are black people that don't like you for your personality, or white people that don't like you for your personality, then regardless of their race, those are people you don't need to be around. Not you
Yep.
trying to adjust and camouflage yourself to fit in.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but so I mean, I see the destructiveness of kids not getting the proper parenting, that grew up with a parent of two different two races. Man, I had a white grandmother call her grandchildren the N-word, and she was trying to make
Mm.
excuses about why she said it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Woo.
I had that happen.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. 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 Wow.
So people need to be, see, people think when they get on this stuff with the biracial, and it's only limited to the two people who decide to be together, but there's other consequences that come along when you have a relationship. You have children, the dynamics of one family don't like whatever, or they act a certain way around you, or they don't accept you, they don't accept the children don't understand. Man, there's a lot of mess that comes with dating somebody of another race, particularly of the majority culture. And
Mm.
nobody wants to have a real conversation about that.
No, they're not ready for that conversation.
Matter
Yeah,
of
they
fact, I
don't.
just had
You know,
a lady today that I saw. Let me tell you this was funny. Um, she has a son that is white. She's a white woman. She had a son with her first child was a young. He's like 9, 10 years old.
Wait, hold
But
on.
she,
You had to
huh?
call Dieter out. You had to call Dieter out. Come down, come back in. 'Cause it messed up some when you jumped down a while ago. We
Can you hear
switched
me?
off your phone.
Okay.
I can hear you,
Yeah.
but I think your avatar gone. If somebody tried to call and interrupt you a while ago when you did that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
good.
All right, go ahead. Continue.
Okay. So she explained the situation. They got some family related issues going on between her, another family member, and the child, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the child didn't see the mom for a certain period of time, and the child was raised by somebody else, and she came back in his life, and then he was not familiar with who his dad was, and he thought initially because she married a black man, he thought that was potentially his dad, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so the kid said, he said, "Wait a minute, if my dad's black, why I don't look brown?"
Wow.
I thought that was funny. The kid was wondering about, because he didn't know his dad, but he saw this, the woman with a black man, and he was wondering like, what happened to me? Why I don't look a certain way, why I don't look black or whatever. But he this was when they were just getting reuniting with each other. But this is just a little kid trying to make sense of the world around him. But I mean, these are things that when you enter these relationships, people will say and do things in a curiosity about people outside their race, and people have these preconceived notions, particularly about us, and these things come out,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. This is a
What
very
did y'all say this picture mean? Because I think that I got a different interpretation of it. You were saying something about the woman would be able to be more. What did you say this picture meant? Chaos.
The premise of this picture from the ladies or whoever created this, in their mind, if the father is not, if it's not black, then is a good mating choice in regards to the outcome of the product of the interracial either relationship or interracial marriage. Meaning that, you know, the son is mixed and she Asica, he looks ambiguous or whatever. And if the father was white and the mother's black, in their mind, that's cool, it's safe. In their psychology, that means this boy will stay around. He'll be more a father figure, this, that, there, and he can go as far as will allow to get away with a lot of stuff, including
So
cuckolding behavior.
let me tell
That's
you that I probably have a better interpretation of the picture. Maybe not better, maybe just different from a woman's standpoint. I'm going to tell you what this means in the conversations that we have, because I mean, I get where you're coming from, but when she's walking away, when he's saying that my dad is black, throughout all the conversations that we have on the internet, we kind of understand that if a black man is dating or having a relationship with a white woman, that he may not have respect for black women. So dark-skinned black woman as she is would not really want any dealings with a mixed boy that has a black father, because when did he understand how to respect a black woman when 9 times out of 10 his dad is with a white woman because he doesn't respect the black woman? So she's not expecting to get any respect or real love from him because she already has the understanding from these conversations that are on every social media site that when a black man dates a white woman, some people think that it's self-hating. And obviously, if his mother is white, his dad's not pouring into him to love or value black women. So you're just gonna walk away from that. It's like a red flag. Don't even waste my time. Why even waste it? And then also we understand that most interracial men that have white mothers, they're not, even if they're with black women, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna marry a white woman anyway. So you're kind of like a placeholder until he meets that white woman that reminds him of his mother. It's just a waste of our time. It ain't got nothing to do with trying to push him around or nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's your interpretation. That's fine. All right. I think I spent enough time on this. Any closing remarks? Actually, Hustler, you there, Hustler? Did you ever respond to this picture already? You responded right to this picture, right? Correct.
I was trying to understand what was the dynamic of this whole picture. She said, which one of your parents is black? He said his father. So that implied that either his mom is white or maybe she's a light-skinned woman. I don't know. Why she jump to conclusions like that? I don't get it.
Well, you know, that's not a good way to look at it. This could be jumping conclusions, but like I said before, in the psychology of certain sisters, they think that, you know, if the father's white, you know, he's involved, you know, he's gonna have more respect to women, you know, especially, and he'll be more accepting, even to the point that he'll even become more of a cuck to her in this so-called relationship of any give or take. So that's the thinking, you know. And I think Jay Shine wrote so much confusion. Yes, it is so much confusion, Jay Shine. So that's what the interpretation of this picture, you know. And this is what I looked at from what I'm hearing from a few ladies. Not many, but you know. That's it. All right. Any guys got closing remarks?
Well, man, I just wanted to chat with you. I just came out the clouds. You asked me to come up. I decided to chop it up with you. But I'm about to get my butt to bed and get ready for a busy day in about 5-6 hours. But appreciate it. Was Femian from the chat in here?
Yes, it's Femi. You recognize
Oh,
that?
I thought that was her. Hey, girl, how you doing?
Hey, it's me.
Hey, okay. Well, I just wanted to say hey to everybody. Hey, man, look forward to your next live. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
You too.
All right, peace.
All right.
Oh, I'm gonna go
Uh,
too because I'm super sleepy.
no. Before you go, Leonard, you got any closing remarks?
Mhm.
Keep it brief, Leonard.
I hope I've been brief all night. But when, like I said, when you get into the skin game of it all, that's all personal, whatever with the individual. So, I'm like, if someone has hangups of whatever,
Okay.
okay, that's your hang up. I move on. You know, I'm a real simple man,
All
very
right.
simple. So
Okay.
I don't all that other stuff. No, I'm a simple man.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, Leonard. Appreciate it. All right, let me stop sharing screen. All right, Hustler. Any closing remarks?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for having me again. Thought I'd come up and chop it up with you about this list because while the list may seem like I said at the beginning, it may seem like an attempt to try to give women some sort of false entitlement that 5-star restaurants are the way to go on a real date. In reality, it just sends a message saying that, hey, some of these places maybe they're not the best place for a date. Maybe some of these places, you really shouldn't take somebody on the first date. I mean, seriously, a church, a family gathering, a nightclub, who does that on the first date? That's just crazy. Who does it? To take someone to those kind of venues on the first date? So the list seemed more or less reasonable, but other stuff was just hit and miss. Movies, that's hit and miss. A restaurant is hit and miss, but we know nightclubs and family functions are a no-go.
Mm-hmm.
So it seemed like a feeble attempt to kind of give women false entitlement, just kind of open up our eyes as far as what's more appropriate for a first date and what isn't.
Yeah.
So I don't. So if that's what they were going for, well, they failed because now I got a better sense of what qualifies as a good first date and what probably doesn't. What's hit or miss for some. It depends on who you're dealing with. To each his own. At the end of the day, every man's different and every woman is going to be different.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. All
And
right.
by the
Thank
way,
you, Hustler.
not a problem. And I'm doing my own show at around 9:15 a.m. this morning. It's called Random Reactions. It's a Halloween themed random reactions. Try
Yeah.
to tune in if you can.
If you're on my Discord, which I'm hoping you're following, you post anything of any nature of any live streams if I do catch in the morning. So please make sure to follow my Discord.
I think I already put it on Discord.
No, I'm on my Discord because sometimes I'll look at other people's Discord if I come across it, but usually I get notifications. But like I
Well, so,
said, in the morning.
so send it to me directly.
Yeah, if you can, that'd be good.
Okay,
And
that'll be good.
yeah, all right, appreciate it. Melon Vessel, yeah. Stay on Melon Vessel. Don't go nowhere yet. Just stay tuned. Stay right there, Melon Vessel. All right, Femi, what about you?
Oh, I get the last word. Okay, so
Yes.
I think that people need to focus on themselves and get back to who they are. Get back to try to think try to think back to the times which your mind thought without the internet, without 30,000 people in your ear telling you what to do, what not to do, what's right, what's wrong, what your standards should be. I think that if we can, I mean, sometimes we just need to delete the apps sometimes or just put your phone on the other side of the room and clear your mind from all the nonsense that people are telling you to do because these people that's telling you what to do ain't even got their stuff together. They ain't got their mental health together. They don't love themselves. They don't respect themselves. They might not even respect and love the people around them. But yet they're telling their 30,000, 100,000 subs what to do, how to live, what type of women or men they should like, what type of car they should drive. I think that you should go back to loving and respecting yourself. And also, I think people should quit projecting what they feel is right onto other people. Maybe it's okay to learn things from other people, but straight to just tell people, don't date no man that works at FedEx. I mean, it's already so much division. It's already like you could miss your husband because you listening to a list. Don't date a girl that we're over a size 4. You can miss your wife because you listening to some man that had 2 failed marriages. So you got to do what's best for you, what's in your heart, what's in your vibration. Um, I mean, just what's best for you, and you can't keep listening to all this. Take it as entertainment, as we should not take rap music literally. We can't be taking all this stuff that these people are saying literally. I mean, they're just people that just got a phone to talk. Don't even take me literally all the time. I just got a phone and I'm just here talking on it.
All right, thank you, Femi. Appreciate it.
Where's my wrench at?
I'm not really getting rich right now because I need the channel to be at a certain plateau when
What you
more
talking
people
about? I
check.
gave you a wrench.
Did you get rich? Oh,
You got a wrench on my channel?
give me time. Let me think. Let me think. I'll think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Because
okay.
remember, listen, Femi. Wrench here is very responsible. I
Oh,
know how you are.
right.
If I get rich, there's gonna be certain instructions. You get me? And you must abide by it. Can you do that?
It depends on what the instructions are. What are they?
Well, when you come around the chat room next time, I will guide you. All right, because I set rules for people when I give the moderation wrench, because I want the chat to run a certain pace, and when people give too many, it gets a little convoluted. It kind of messes with the chat when people are responding. So that's why you don't see much people with wrenches on my channel. Personally, regardless, I have a low people that's watching this channel. I had to be very careful with wrenching people. You get me?
Right.
For other reasons, but I had to tell you that on another time. Is that cool?
Right. Okay.
Come here. What I do here has to make sense. You get me? If it was not like that, I would just anybody that's on here that watches, or even let's go as far as hopefully support it, I should give them a tool. But it's much deeper than that. There's certain ways when you run a channel, you have to move a certain way. You get me? For whatever reason, So you can't just like do things like that, personally, because it messes the chat room and it will mess up the channel. But I'll tell you more in detail. Is that fine?
Uh-huh.
And it will work some out. You get me?
Right.
Okay, you see, what's the name? Chanel, Queen Virtue, she got a wrench, and there's a reason why I gave her the wrench. You get me? Because some face I instructed her, but that's not right now. Let me wrap the show. We'll talk later. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Yeah. Manifest, you're right. In my opinion, most folks would suck at polyamory. Most people can't tend to one relationship and maintain healthy self more than one. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it there. Runs. Yes, it's very tight nip up in here. Now, this I have to present. Let me see if I have the thing queued up. One second, guys. And make sure you guys like the stream and share the stream. I would appreciate it. Where is it? Where the heck is it? Hold on. I gotta find it. I took a picture of this because this right here, I saw, and I had to do a response, and this response is very valid. And let me write this note right now. All right. What you about to see right now, guys, for those that still remaining and watch in the room, which I do appreciate, I'm presenting to y'all this. And this has to be talked about. What you're witnessing, what you're seeing. What you're seeing is two people. Now, from looks of things, these two people, as you could tell, are not married. Why did I brought this in front of y'all attention? As you know, the woman on the right She is a Chicago native. I'm not sure if she is ADOS, whatever. It looked like she's a regular, typical black woman, American. On the man on the left, this man is actually Latin descent. He is Puerto Rican, straight Puerto Rican. 2 non-black parents. What you notice between these two pictures? I mean, what you notice between the two? They are in a interracial / relationship, long-term relationship, not even in marriage. As you can tell, how I know, because you don't see no ring on her finger, neither does he. They're not married, but they have 1 child. This woman on the right, as you can tell from the right, this woman here on the right, she makes more money than the man on the left. They were on a podcast, which y'all know, the 2 men that got the platform. That's all you need to know. They had a conversation about their relationships. Right? Right? And the one thing is ironic with this marriage, this relationship, right? Is that she is the breadwinner, but not much. She makes maybe roughly, on the average, maybe over 50K a year. This gentleman here makes not even 30K a year. Maybe he might make it on a good year, maybe. He mostly deals with disabled children, etc. She works as part of the military. But she's comfortable in this relationship and don't ask for much from what you're seeing through this picture. She don't ask much, but she's the one that has more of the brains and has run the relationship. Unlike the gentleman on the left, the Hispanic gentleman on the left, he does not do much of nothing. Why is this important? I noticed the one Miss Crimson talked about this and talking about what women should look for and expect, which is fine. But the problem with that thinking is which woman you're talking about. Because black women, as you can tell on the right, whether she's an actual ADOS or even from I'm here, she could be Nigerian, she does not see or view it this way because she met this man on the left at age 29. Right now, she is 34 years old. He is now 30. They met each other when they were in their 20s, a couple years back, 5 years ago. But she is doing more out of the relationship, and he's not doing much, but besides, watching their child. I think they got a daughter, and she's fine with it. And the reason why she's fine with it, because she got her mixed biracial child, what she expecting. And if you remember, guys, what David Carroll have been saying constantly, when there's no dysfunction, they will create the dysfunction. And usually some sisters like her, regardless if she's attractive or less attractive, and I think she's slightly, depending on how she look, and she don't look like she might be putting on weight, she could fall from slightly below to maybe pushing roughly average overall. This is the best she can get. And this is the best she settled with. And here's what we're saying. She not only settles for this dude, but this dude in return, and you might not like this male investor or anybody that's listening, this dude does not respect or like her. And the reason why, because this is all he could eventually get and qualify. And is even lucky that she's still staying around because he's not even doing enough of his part. He's actually a bum and he refused to do better. And I'm not saying he really stayed there, but he in his mind feels he should not do no better because this is all he qualifies. And I'm gonna tell you right now, ladies, this is the same dude that's making the less than few money. And trust me, he only got a high school diploma, but he got this little gig job working with kids for a few years, and he's keep telling his so-called sniffing girlfriend on the right that he's gonna do better, and he's gonna come with a master plan that is he's gonna be a very, very productive man that where he's gonna make a whole lot of money with his little plan. And that is not the truth. He's in this relationship because he's getting what he can, and he's getting all what he gotten from this woman, because this woman is unfortunately settling, and she's comfortable settling because throughout the conversation, the interview she had with these two brothers on the podcast, she knows everything for how much it takes to make. And oh, mind y'all, these two people are in Connecticut right now. She's from Chicago originally. She moved to Connecticut, or she came out of school, wherever. I'm not sure the situation, how long she's been in Chicago. And she met this dude that is allegedly, who actually is actually a bum because he's not doing nothing better. And he found a easy meal ticket, a lick. But why I'm bringing this to your attention, because black women do let certain things get away. And if this is a dude that's not black, he's going to get away with a lot of stuff. As you can tell from her expression and his. He doesn't have a good demeanor. You can tell from his facial expression that he said, I don't want to be in this relationship, but I'm content. Which he is. And I'm not saying he's stuck, but I guarantee you, and here's the kicker. He said out his mouth in this whole entire podcast that if he made more than her, he would not be in this relationship. Now, Melanie, you say you disagree. No, sweetie, this is not a disagreement or agreement. This is what the man said out his own mouth, that if he made more than her right now, he would not be in this relationship. Matter of fact, he would dump her right now as we speak. Matter of fact, he's probably fucking another woman right now. And she would not mind. Even if he told her that, or she caught him in the act. Which I believe once the time comes, once he finds a way to find another woman that will give him a little bit more, in my opinion, I think he's going to leave her and move on with another woman that will probably supplement his non-productive butt. Yes. I totally believe that's what he'll do. He already expressed his disdain and actually disrespect being with her on this podcast. And she's sitting there smiling, laughing. And trust me, I view it. She have no facial expressions of the words this dude is saying in front of a live audience on a big podcast that has roughly 9 to 10K people watching. Yeah. But it lets you know that women like her, and yeah, she is jet black. But when you have no self-esteem and all you think and really view yourself as this is the best you can get because the man's prettier than you, you got problems, ladies. Sorry to say this, but if the man looks better than you, that's a problem. Usually women should always, by default, be the fairest sex. And if your man looks much better looking than you, you got problems. I'd be surprised if he's the highly productive dude in the group, in the family, or in this relationship. Right now, as you see, he's being catered as we speak as a man. He just buying his time for the next hot thing that he could sit there, hopefully snag if he gets his stuff together, which he probably won't. He's gonna probably be out there. He's banging a few women right now as we speak, and is hoping one of them will, take him on, and he's gonna probably move on to another relationship and be the same, unfortunately, stagnant bum as he is now with the children and giving false promises to her that, I got a master plan. I'm creating this app and all this nonsense. So this is a response to Miss Cure. In a way, I view it differently. Black women know what relationship they get into, and not only they know what they get into, they pick. Like I said, if you're a woman that has no self-esteem like her, she's going to deal with the cuter, so-called less productive man, whether he's black or non-black. And as you can tell from the guy on the left, he is a non-black man. He's a Latin descent. So I hope this helps, guys. Hope this was fruitful. Looking for in the comment section for y'all. Y'all take in response to a lot of this, like always. Oh, before I wrap up, I'll answer that. Chaos, why do you see him as fairer or prettier than her? Because as you could tell from the left and right, manifesto, nothing's really wrong with her. She's maybe below, maybe slightly average, maybe between the low and high. But I look at the man on the left and look at her on the right. If you listen to conversations, this man does not want to be in this relationship. And he already showed disrespect throughout the whole podcast towards her. And she is sitting there giggling, laughing, and finding nothing wrong with it. And I find that very problematic. She has self-esteem issues. I wish I could tell you a link where y'all could watch this for your own perspective. But I'm saying from what I'm getting out of the whole conversation from firsthand. And that's how I see it. That's my conclusion of it. And really true, you know, when you have when you find yourself don't have no self-esteem as a woman, and you pick somebody that's less black, it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. And be honest with you, if she was in the market for this long and come across this unfortunately bum, it tells you this is what she could possibly get out of the market. And to me, I think that's unacceptable. She could do a lot better. And be honest with you, she's a sweet woman. If you hear her conversation, she's very humble, sweet. And I'm not saying she's feminine, but look like she's easygoing, and she look like she's more a reasonable woman to deal with. I look at it, she could do a lot better, a whole lot better. Anyway, I'm not gonna hold more time. I spent enough time on this. If you're new to the Chaos Rain channel, welcome to Chaos Rain Show. Like always, follow me on the social media links above. Follow me on Twitter at Chaos Rain 7. Add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Join my Rumble page, CRain23 on Rumble. Follow me on Rumble, uncut versions on Rumble as we speak. Also, join Discord service of the Chaos Rain Show as well. And last but not least, join my membership here on the Chaos Rain Show. These are links to follow me. And please leave a comment at the end of this video as well. You know, like always. But other than that, thank y'all for listening to today's stream. Until next time, thank you.